It's the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix. It is Lewis Hamilton starting from P11 despite being fastest in qualifying. Valtteri Bottas has the front row of the grid from Max Verstappen. It's all to play for. It's wet as well. The track has not dried out since overnight rain. It's cloudy. Chances of rain increasing throughout the race. We're in for another classic Formula One race in 2021. We're into the last few races of the Formula 1 2021 season. We're back in Turkey, in Istanbul. It's so intercontinental. Welcome to the Turkish Grand Prix. It's round 16 of the season as well. Following this, we begin a charge across the Americas with the United States Grand Prix on the 24th of October. Mexico starts off another triple header, the 7th of November, the 14th of November. We go back for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix at Interlagos, and Qatar takes its debut on the calendar on the 21st of November. In December, the two races to round out the season, Saudi Arabia at the new Jeddah Street Circuit on the 5th of December, before reprofiled Abu Dhabi sees the season conclude on December the 12th. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, it's Lewis Hamilton who leads by just 2 points to Max Verstappen. Mathematically, the only two still remaining in this title fight for the last 7 races, and it is so close between them. Valtteri Bottas is holding off Lando Norris in 3rd and 4th. Sergio Perez goes P5. He's 8 points clear of Carlos Sainz, who's ahead of his teammate Charles Leclerc. Danny Ricciardo has 8 points. Pierre Gasly 9th, and Fernando Alonso rounds out the top 10. No position changes on page 2, with Esteban Ocon 10 points clear of Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda 2 points clear now of George Russell, who's had 5 races in a row in the points. Great for the Williams team, ahead of Nicholas Latifi on 7. Raikkonen has 6, Giovinazzi 1, Schumacher, Kubica and Mazepin still the only drivers with no points on the board. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way by exactly 33 points to Red Bull Racing as well. McLaren are holding off Ferrari as well after a good surge of good races in Italy and Russia. Alpine have 5th place pretty much confirmed to them from AlphaTauri ahead of Aston Martin. Williams in 8th place now, so far ahead of both Alfa Romeo on 7, and the only team with no points, unsurprisingly, is Haas on 0. It's the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix, and this is Grand Prix Live. Let's get on then to what happened in the first practice session. Lewis Hamilton topping the board as well. News already broke coming in to the session. He'd have to take a grid penalty. Just 10 places. He's returned the internal combustion engine as well. So he'll start at best from P11. Carlos Sainz has taken a whole new power unit as well. He has to start the race from the back of the grid. Max Verstappen bouncing back. He's already taken that grid penalty as well. He finished P2 ahead of Charles Leclerc as well in that first session. Valtteri Bottas and Carlos Sainz rounded out the top 5. Esteban Ocon went on P6 as well. He was on the hard compound tyres, 7 tenths off ahead of Lando Norris, and Pierre Gasly round out P8. Fernando Alonso off the pace as well by 1.2 seconds. He was down in P9. Red Bull Sergio Perez though rounded out the top 10 as things went as well. Russell was a very high P11 on the board as well, ahead of Danny Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel and Antonio Giovinazzi, the two you'd expect to be in the top 10. Drifting further back in the opening session, Latifi ahead of Raikkonen and Stroll down in 17th was the biggest disappointment. Tsunoda 2, Schumacher and Mazepin once again louding up at the back of the field. It was quite a calm first practice session. It went by quite quickly. Ferrari were running a new aero rake that looked like the wings of an angel on the back of the car as well, just to get the telemetry data ready for next year's cars as well in terms of how the aero, yes, it's a different package, but the toe links of the cars and the rear wing largely remaining the same. So every little helps going in to free practice 2. On we go then to free practice 2. Lewis Hamilton continuing the pace he had from the morning session, going faster and setting the fastest ever lap time at this circuit as well. A 1:23.804, smashing the record by one Pablo Montoya set back in 2005. Charles Leclerc was second. Valtteri Bottas rounded out the top 3 as well. The two Red Bulls, Perez and Verstappen, off the pace, suffering with high tyre wear as well on the medium compound tyre and especially on the soft tyre compound for Max Verstappen. Note that down for the race minutes later on as well. A good strong performance from Lando Norris, bouncing back up into P6. Alonso 7th, Ocon and Gasly, Giovinazzi again improving, rounding out the top 10. Tsunoda and Sainz pretty much off the pace, but improvement from Tsunoda from being down in 18th in the last session to move over to P11. Stroll, Ricciardo and Raikkonen sort of bouncing between them as well. Vettel down the order in P16 once again. Latifi, Russell, Schumacher and Mazepin rounding out the back of the grid as well. Ferrari's pacing Turkey, surprising everybody. They finished 3rd and 4th last year. Vettel on the podium with Leclerc in 4th this time out again, as you can see. Leclerc going into P2. Carlos Sainz, the one to watch out. He's down in P12. Can he move up the order as well going into it as well? Turn 9, Charles Leclerc, however, did have a little spin as well. Caught several drivers down in practice too, looping it round down there as well. Valtteri Bottas more comfortable in the second session to watch out for. Red Bull leading driver went to Sergio Perez, the Mexican, coping better with the RB16B as well. 5/10 off the pace as well. Carlos Sainz, different focus, back at the grid start as well. He was focusing very much on long, heavy fuel runs in free practice too. But it is a great session to watch out for, especially as Lewis Hamilton has to go for pole to start at best P11, topping all of Friday. The third practice session was wet. Pierre Gasly topped a pretty much useless session, a 1:34.47 from Verstappen second and Perez in third place as well. So a Honda topping all three as well. Lewis Hamilton didn't even bother going out for half of the session. That's why he's so far down on the list as well. In P18, George Russell setting no time at all, seeing no point going on damaging the car. Completed 2 laps, called it a day as well. Verstappen, Bottas, Sainz, Leclerc, Vettel all being a cropper down at turn 9 as well, just looping the car around. Also down at the very tricky turn 7 section as well. Everyone just getting a little bit squiggly out there as well before going too wide. Ask that as well of Lewis Hamilton. A pretty irrelevant session then, but still a lot of drama and going into qualifying as well. A lot more pressure put on in the drying circumstances that we would have for qualifying. Gasly though top makes so that he's now had more podiums in Formula 1 than he has had top positions as well. Suppose it makes a little bit more sense. But Gasly, Verstappen and Perez, your 1, 2, 3 in practice. Okay, let's start as ever then with qualifying 1, and it was Lewis Hamilton. He was 0.007 of a second fastest over Max Verstappen. Danny Ricciardo, though, had a bit of a culture shock, getting eliminated out of the session as well. He started P16. Latifi, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen and Mazepin as well. Some of the usual suspects in there. We didn't expect to see Giovinazzi or Raikkonen. They were quite quick in the practice sessions, but in the wet, dry Q1 we had as well, they fell a cropper. The rain came down as well during the session. That's scuppered everybody's lap times. Everyone was slipping and sliding around the circuit trying to get lap times. Turn 1 became a massive cropper as well. We had several cars running off, most notably Yuki Tsunoda going off as well. Pierre Gasly too, all going off the circuit. Lap times are being cancelled, even that for Lewis Hamilton. Eventually Hamilton was 20th, shot up to first place in the end of it as well. The rain soon abated, cars got back out of the circuit. It led to a flurry of action in the last minutes as well. It saved George Russell going through, but lap times again struggling to get round meant that when the ticker timed down to 0, cars were still on an outlap, which means they didn't get to set a faster lap time. So Q1 saw the exit for Ricciardo, shockingly as well. Latifi from Giovinazzi, Raikkonen and Mazepin. In terms of qualifying number 2, it was a very much a go for across everything. Hamilton and Bottas clear. Schumacher starts as well. Schumacher, the big surprise to get up into qualifying number 2 and get out of Q1. He was the one who kicked out Danny Ricciardo, of course, remember. He equals his best ever grid slot in Formula 1. He starts 14th on the grid as well, just ahead of Carlos Sainz, who was taking his grid penalty, finished in 15th, but will start 20th on the grid. Vettel, Ocon and Russell, the other 3 cars eliminated. Russell could have got through to Q3, however a mistake down at turn 14 in the slipperiness of the conditions meant he went straight on and abandoned his lap time. He crossed the line with 4 seconds to go. Unfortunately, the tyres were cold and full of dirt. He couldn't continue. Top 10 then, going through. Let's take a look at what that looked like. On to qualifying 3 then. Lewis Hamilton taking pole position with the fastest time, but with his grid penalty, he'll start 11th on the grid. That promotes Valtteri Bottas onto pole position. Max Verstappen starts alongside him as well. Charles Leclerc said he was surprised and felt it was a bit wrong and ugly that he was starting in P3 as well. He didn't feel like he was that fast enough, but it's been there all weekend. The Ferrari's pace, great to see as well. Further down the order, it's going to be a very interesting session. What's going to happen tomorrow with Bottas and Verstappen on the front row? The second row sees Leclerc and Gasly in front of Alonso, Perez, Norris, Stroll, Tsunoda and Vettel rounding out the top 10. But of course, that's not how the grid will actually shape out. Let's take a look around the Istanbul City Circuit Park, a 3.316 mile circuit, top speed at 205 miles an hour, elevation change at over 40 metres, and the lap record here 1:24.770 set by Montoya. Start the lap. Head downhill, open up the DRS zone into the downhill braking zone for turn 1. Be careful not to let the car go too deep, but you can pick up a very late apex as you hurtle uphill through 2 into the uphill heavier braking zone into turn 3. Banked part of the circuit, you immediately drop down the hill to turn 4. A sharp 90-degree right-hander into the 90-degree left at turn 5 and 6. Open up the kinetic energy system on the car as you launch uphill towards turn 7 before the fearless triple apex of turn 8. The drivers say this one is really going to be felt on the necks. 3 times left, left and left again, all by trying to keep at full throttle at over nearly 200 miles an hour in a 2020 car. Drop down the hill, another 90 left into the braking zone at turn 9 and turn 10, back up towards the second DRS detection point on the track at turn number 11. Now run all the way uphill with the DRS open into the braking zone of turn 12. Scene, of course, of Red Bull making their famous 1-2 crash in 2010. Hard on the brakes and overtaking opportunity here before the quick kink into turn 13 and the last corner turn 14. Hug the inside curb, open up the DRS once again and fire it to a line. That is a lap of the Istanbul Park circuit here for the Turkish Grand Prix. We've been making the joke all weekend long, but it's now come true. Trust the Turkish to give us a proper Turkish delight. Round 16 of the 2021 Formula 1 World Championship is here in Istanbul, and it is wet, wet, wet. Rain has been coming down all afternoon. The track has been suffering from overnight rain as well, which means we are in for an absolute cracker. 2,000 trees were planted last year within the circuit to offset the carbon emissions produced from the 2020 event, and that was an absolute classic. You all know the circuit, a 3.316 mile circuit as well, 3 sectors, high-speed corners as well. The longest corner in the calendar with a G-force average as well at turn 8. Elevation change is 40.8 metres. And always be careful of what happens at the start. In wet conditions last year, Ricciardo hit the side of Ocon, who spun, though it's perused Valtteri Bottas into a spin. Valtteri Bottas does not want the same to happen here this year. Alexander Albon, though, in intermediate conditions, did a fantastic move up the inside, getting ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Vettel would eventually go on to finish third, with Perez second after his teammate Charles Leclerc locked up and went straight on down at turn 12 on the very last lap of the race. The same race last year, Lewis Hamilton was crowned a 7-time champion. The race this year, however, will see a different championship play out. Just 2 points between Hamilton and Verstappen, with the tyres to focus on, the C2 hard, the C3 medium and the C4 soft. However, the wets are definitely the ones to watch. Let's take a look at how they line up on the grid then for the Turkish Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas inherits pole position from Lewis Hamilton. Alongside him on the front row of the grid is Max Verstappen as well, going for victory. The second row, Charles Leclerc surprised that his Ferrari's P3. Pierre Gasly delighted with his AlphaTauri. The third row, Fernando Alonso starts fifth, avoiding a penalty for not having double yellow flags. Sergio Perez alongside him. Row 4 sees Lando Norris alongside Lance Stroll as well. And the 5th row of the grid sees Yuki Tsunoda in P9 and Sebastian Vettel starting 10th. 11th on the grid is Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader, taking a brand new internal combustion engine. He's alongside Esteban Ocon. The 7th row of the grid in 13th and 14th, George Russell, hoping to get points. He's had points in the last 4 of the 5 races so far. Mick Schumacher's alongside him. His points on the debut for Haas in these mixed conditions. Row 8, Nicholas Latifi is alongside Antonio Giovinazzi, still racing for his Formula 1 career. Kimi Raikkonen, he was sinking the other day with his water pipe failing. He's going to be sinking today. He's alongside Nikita Mazepin. The last row of the grid, Carlos Sainz, has a grid penalty, and so does now Daniel Ricciardo. He qualified 16th. He's now 20th on the grid. He's taken a new power unit elements as well. But the biggest one, Megan Birch alongside me in the commentary box for the Turkish Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton qualified first, a 10th-place grid penalty. He starts 11th with mixed conditions on a slippery surface. What's the bet? And we have a massive accident down at turn 1.
I have a feeling, especially, I can see, it's like, I think maybe from 8 to 15 is going to be really dramatic. Also, I've also noticed that they're all different type of shade of blue.
Yeah, it is all different shades of blue, isn't it, at the moment, which I thought would be different. But Max Verstappen, Red Bull, and Red Bull, which is Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, running a special livery this weekend. It should have been the Japanese Grand Prix this weekend, but it's the Turkish. But the livery still planned and still being run here. Can they win here today with that livery change as well? History shows every time there's a livery change for a top-running team, not everything happens. Ali, yeah. The intermediates are the starting time for everybody. I had a message from Ali. He said that, yes, it stopped raining, but the rain's just come back and there's a light fog mist around. The wind is blowing in the rain as well. The track is wet. Basically, it's going to be yet another fantastic Grand Prix.
Is that a motorway or part of a track?
That's a motorway just alongside the circuit.
That's cool.
It's the Intercity Istanbul circuit. Yeah,
when do I have to press?
Oh, not until 2:35, so... we're fine for that, yeah.
I'll set an alarm.
Yeah. Well, look at this, and we all come across. It is lap 1. It's a 58-lap race, of course. It's now 3 o'clock in Turkey. And away we go for the formation lap. The cars venture off, and already we've got a yellow flag. And is that Esteban Ocon or Fernando Alonso? Which, I don't know which one it was.
Ocon's further down.
Then it was Fernando Alonso who failed to get away. He has now got away, luckily. But, Megan, everyone a bit ginger with the conditions here. And not everybody getting away as okay as we would have thought.
I've noticed it's very slow on the right side of the grid, though everyone seemed...
Yeah.
Though, round the corners, you got to avoid the left.
Gasly.
Is there any more rain coming on at the moment? We think this will be like that.
We expect these conditions to stay as they are for pretty much the whole race.
Oh, so intermediates for the whole race. Lewis Hamilton radio. Oh, well, it was Lewis Hamilton's radio.
Anything would be better than this.
Anything would be better than this. Oh, dear.
What about torrential rain?
Yeah, track conditions aren't well, are they?
Today, you have to sing for yourself then.
Well, in terms of the championship, Lewis Hamilton leads the way, 246 points and a half to Max Verstappen's 244 and a half. Verstappen at the moment would take the lead in the Drivers' Championship as well, but can Lewis claw his way back into the points? Can he get a podium? Fastest pit stop this year, 1.88 seconds. That was Red Bull Racing in Hungary as well. Let's see what they can do here this weekend. Megan.
Leclerc just had a little bit of a wobble, and I know they're warming up the tyres, so he did just have a little bit of a wobble. Not massive, though, when he was just going around the corner.
My thanks to Josh Plays as well. If we hop over to the group chat quickly, if I remember the right button.
Is there any more rain coming on at the moment?
That's Gasly. We've already heard that radio message. Sorry, confused my buttons there. We've already heard that radio message. As they come through, Josh Plays, my thanks to him for also giving us all some graphics. Nice 360 as well. And there's so many times you nearly lost it on that lap as well. Russell in the points again today. It could be possible. Watch out for Schumacher as well as they come back into play. Hopefully our driver tracker is working as well at some point throughout this race. Keep your fingers crossed. It's a 2-hour race, remember, completed in a 3-hour duration. 58 laps ahead of us. Intermediate tyres are going to be the call. The track is wet. We are truly in for a Turkish delight. Bottas is on pole position. He starts on the left-hand side of the picture. On the right-hand side will be Max Verstappen as well. Now, correct that. Left-hand side for Bottas, right-hand side for Verstappen. Verstappen started second this time last year and struggled to get off the line. He dropped down to P7. There is a big, big chance he could fail in this race today.
seems to be going very slow around the last sector. To be honest, that's quite expected since it is quite hard turns right there, and the rain does seem to like that sector as well. So.
You said Pierre Gasly could win the race yesterday.
I'm hoping.
He starts 4th. There's a strong chance. Lewis Hamilton starts in P11. Just 2 points in it in the World Championship then with 6 races to go. Hamilton starts 11th. Verstappen starts 2nd. Valtteri Bottas has the lead of this Grand Prix down towards turn 1. In slippery, wet conditions here in Istanbul, history tells us we really are in for a Turkish delight. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights in Istanbul. It's action in Turkey. It's a slow start from Bottas. That's going to allow Verstappen to move alongside, but Charles Leclerc might have to lead it towards turn 1, and Perez and already again.
Oh!
And Alonso gets spun round down at turn 1. He does a 360, gets back on the track.
Oh.
And just like a year ago, either to Renault and Alpine, it spun round at turn 1. It was Perez who hit him. Here's Hamilton battling with Vettel. He's already trying to pass. I think that's Yuki Tsunoda. But Bottas leads from Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Gasly, Norris, Stroll, Tsunoda. As Hamilton now getting past, or passing, Esteban Ocon big close to the back. But now it was a cleaner start than it was this time last year. As Alonso started 5th, now 16th. Russell's dropped back into 15th. Mazepin's under pressure as Sainz and Ricciardo start to make their way up as well. And look, a huge ball of spray. Ricciardo trying to pass Sainz and does so up the order. Ricciardo to 18th, Sainz down in the order.
I think that Bottas is very happy to be first right now since he is getting quite good away. Don't know how to put that. Got a good start. So did Verstappen. And
we've got a yellow. Don't know where.
Yellow.
So yellow flag on the track. Let's take a look at the driver tracker.
Sticking.
Well, it's Latifi who's run right to the back of the grid.
Ricciardo's going down as well.
Yeah, so Latifi's dropped back in the order, as you can see.
Latifi, I think he's spun.
Yeah, and he's sectors 2 and 3 yellow as Hamilton right round the outside gets ahead as Sebastian Vettel tries to take Yuki Tsunoda for good measure. Hasn't worked out. He gets ahead to Hamilton already to P9. Ocon's down to 11th and tags us. Did he hit Sebastian Vettel there? Ricciardo has dropped to 18th. You are correct there, Meg. Has been repassed by Sainz, but where's the spray? Okay, yes. So, luckily, Ocon backed out of it and didn't hit Sebastian Vettel at turn 14. That was very much a close one into positions. That last lap, by the way, was I can't see because it's not actually on my monitor. What was the lap time we're looking for? It's not actually telling us. So, pointless to even have a go at attempting what that said as Hamilton up the inside of Yuki Tsunoda now down at turn 6, round in turn 7 as well. Can they hold it back? Hamilton was sneaking and sliding through here. There's another yellow sector 1, and that must be Schumacher.
Contact rear left.
Puncture rear left, says Latifi, but he's continued on. But Schumacher's gone off the track. He's dropped down to 19th.
Track clear.
Yeah, so Schumacher, who was running up the order, hasn't worked out.
There's a lot of spinning going on, so eventually people may have to go on to full wets.
If the rain does come down more, then it would have to be a full wet situation. Thankfully, at the moment, it's due to stay like this for the entire race. Reminds me a lot of Brazil 2003, when we ran in wet conditions. It was also last year's race, let's be fair. Already 57 laps to go. Bottas continuing. He's on a 1.5 second lead over Max Verstappen. Leclerc dropping further back as well. Another 1.5. In fact, the top 5 between each of them, it's 1.5 seconds between them all. So already that's getting close. And don't forget, DRS is disabled for this race. It was Schumacher who spun at turn 4 and he's continued on.
Bottas has the fastest lap of a 1:34.359.
Okay, Pierre, so now we stay into the rhythm and we manage those tires, please.
Gasly.
Keep us posted on the track.
Gasly, just keep the delta positive then and keep it all in acceleration on the track. And it is very twitchy out there as Hamilton struggling now to pass Tsunoda.
Why is it on a timer, may I just ask?
Oh, that's how long we've got left in the race. There's the lap counter on the other side as well. And there's the lap counter you're watching on.
This race can't go past 2 hours.
No, as always, it's a 2-hour race inside a 3-hour distance. Okay, let's take a look at the start then. Valtteri Bottas, when the lights go out, Bottas actually gets a slow start, a lot of wheel spin, but Verstappen came across to defend from Leclerc. It was a great start from Sergio Perez diving up the inside, but Alonso got tagged by Gasly as well. Well, we saw it last year.
Alonso poor.
Yeah, 3 into 1 doesn't go. And turn 4 is involving car 47, Schumacher noted. That was him going off the track as well. Let's take a look on board then with Alonso. He's now P15 after starting P5. So that's really annoyed him.
Also, he was about to go into 4th and then he got clipped. Oh, that...
Bystander, complete bystander. Let's hear from Alonso.
What a stupid guy, Gasly.
What a stupid guy, Gasly, he said over the radio as well. Maybe, I'm not sure. Let's take a look from Gasly's point of view.
Gasly.
Lights out, and he gets the wheel spin.
He tries to defend from Alonso here. You can see him trying his best to defend. Though,
he had Perez on the inside. Whose fault would you say that was?
A little bit of Gasly more because... Although he had nowhere else to go, he did have a little bit more space than Alonso would have.
I got sandwiched, Gasly saying over the radio. I would say that's a give and take a million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell who it is.
Watch Bottas's start. Bottas actually had a quicker reaction time to the lights, 0.26 seconds. Verstappen was 0.34. But in terms of the 0 to 100, Bottas actually had a better start than Verstappen. Okay, I'll take that. But I would say that Bottas had his wheels spinning a lot longer. That's Gasly's radio. I'd say he got wheels spinning a lot more. Has something else happened to Alonso? He's down to 15th. Alonso's down to 17th now. What's happened? Schumacher cuts him off. Oh, that's what happened to Schumacher. Alonso clipped the back of him.
Oh, Alonso's involved in everything today.
And this is what happened to Nicholas Latifi out of turn 9. Just caught the rears on the white line and spinning round 360.
Oh, that could have been dangerous if he wasn't last.
Let's go to the chat quickly because it's good morning to Adam as well. Enjoy the Turkish Grand Prix. You too. Hope you have a nice day as well. Beth is there saying, Josh, I only just heard about the current shortage you're having over there. To help out, I've put 6 litres of petrol in the mail for you. Yes, I punctured holes in the box. Beth Stappen! As they come through, in recognition of the UK shortage, it has been announced that for this race, Pierre Gasly will officially be referred to as Pierre Lita. That's actually a good one. I like that. Look at the wall of spray down towards turn 12 as the yellow. And
Verstappen.
Oh!
I don't know what that is.
Listen.
Having an error next to my gear shift. The number, I don't know what that is.
Okay, stand by.
So there's an error in the gear shift control every single time he tries to clinch it.
Under investigation, Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly for turn incident 1.
Yeah, that's the start of the race.
Yeah, causing collision.
So that will be Pierre Gasly pretty much being investigated for that one. I'll tell you one thing though, this is all the shades of a great race because if Verstappen has gearbox failure, then the championship points would swing more Hamilton's way. He'd lead it by an extra 4 points instead of the 2 it is. This is a tense race as things stand as well. And don't forget as well, we'll open up the driver tracker because it's working and you may as well look. 5 and 58 as well. Bottas, Verstappen, Leclerc, but they're all staying pretty much bumped together. Nobody's been able to drag their distance away.
I mean, you look at the back of the field, you just see a clump of white because you can't make out the names.
No, you really can't as well. It's really is a bit difficult. Turn 4 between Alonso and Schumacher.
Well, rears are hot. Manage the exit of 5 and 7. Prioritise exit 5 and 7.
Well,
so that,
Stroll, make it last because everyone else's tyres are really cold.
Are they gonna? I'm just wondering, if these intermediates going to overheat? Because you can't. It's too wet for dries, and if the inters aren't working, then what are Pirelli up to with their intermediate tyre range?
Full wets.
Well, they'll overheat.
They're going to have to invent a medium between it.
The super inter. Interslicks, yeah, that's what they need, interslicks.
Oh, I would love to create that.
And look at the spray. This is where this is where it's wettest on the track. As Sainz tries to go right round the outside of George Russell for 14th place, down into turn 12. On the inside of 13, he's taken him. Russell, though, likes turn 14. Can he find a way back through? No. And Hamilton's right on the back of Yuki Tsunoda. But as we saw in Russia, the Mercedes, and we saw in Italy as well, the Mercedes cannot follow cars properly. Can't follow cars,
especially
and it can't overtake.
Yeah, when it's getting blasted.
I know, but if I manage, I can't pass them.
Latifi complaining about the tyres.
Can't pass Schumacher.
Long-term objective.
Yeah, so Latifi can't pass Schumacher. That's been an ongoing thing for about how many years now?
Oh, a long time, yeah. And just quickly, turn 4 is involving Alonso and Schumacher under investigation. So Alonso's under investigation for 2 instances now out there on the circuit. Yeah, and look, there's the confirmation. Look, so That's Alonso and Schumacher for turn 4.
Alonso's just like, what did I do?
Well, I'll tell you what, Gasly might get a penalty and Alonso might get a penalty for that one as well. But unless it was Schumacher turning in, I'm not too sure. But thanks to Josh as well for putting them in the chat so you can all see them as well. It's causing a collision. And we see Hamilton closing down now. He's 14 seconds behind Verstappen. That means he's, 15 seconds back. 16.5 seconds away from Bottas at the moment. So Hamilton is inside his pit stop window. In fact, if anybody was to pit right now, they'd drop immediately to the back of the field.
Status, please. Cars in front lapping low 36s.
36, but still making damage to the front.
Yeah, that's Ocon's radio. Here comes Carlos Sainz once again, this time to the inside of Kimi Räikkönen for 13th place. Goes a bit too long. Is Räikkönen still there? Well, we're on the onboard camera angles, and I can't see anything in the rearview mirror. As Hamilton now looks to the inside, down towards turn 1 to get ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Hasn't worked out either at the current moment. So, looking at the monitor, Sainz has passed Räikkönen and Schumacher now up into 19th place past Latifi again. So Latifi, I think Latifi's coming to the pit lane. I'm not too sure though. Can't see it on the monitor. But look on the driver tracker. Look, Schumacher now is ahead of Latifi and closing in again on Mazepin. But they are all still massively clumped together on the back half of the track. Bottas closing in again on Verstappen. As look at Hamilton. He's all over the place at the moment with Tsunoda.
And Lando suggests yellow G1, and how's this pace?
Calculate.
Yeah, pace 4, pace 5.
I say 14.
Between what?
Hamilton and Verstappen. 262.5 for Verstappen. Hamilton 248.5. That's 14 points, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. 14 points now will be between Verstappen and Hamilton if things stayed as they are and finish as they are.
If this race continues with no,
Safety
cars, well, or at least a red flag,
Yeah.
then it will finish... It'll be 91 minutes long, and
That means if we go off air quick, we can cover the second
50
touring
seconds.
cars. No, we're not going to go off air quick. We'll having the touring cars at 3:30 as well. Hamilton is all over the back of Yuki Tsunoda as well. He's trying to find a way through as Sainz has passed Giovinazzi. Hamilton gets a good exit out of the last corner as well. Tsunoda goes defensive towards the pit wall. Hamilton's going to have to go round the outside unless he sends it to the inside and towards turn 1. And the camera angle there was a bit bad.
Yeah, so fronts take more of a hit in traffic.
And Hamilton's going for it now, the top of the hill at turn 3, round the outside to go the downhill section to turn 4. Brilliant move from Lewis Hamilton
that was
there.
smooth.
Smooth move from Lewis. He's a smooth operator. Forget about Carlos Sainz. Give the title to Lewis Hamilton for that one. He moves up into P8 now, closes down now. His next victim will be Lance Stroll, who was the race pole sitter last year and led 90% of the race distance so far.
Bet there's going to be some tension between them since Stroll was originally on pole and Hamilton won.
And Pierre Gasly has been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision.
Hamilton radio.
Great stuff, Lewis. I know you didn't hear that over the radio, but it's great stuff, Lewis.
So Gasly ain't going to win.
No, 5-second time penalty for Pierre Gasly. He can serve that in the pit lane, though.
Can I change it to Bottas?
Well, no, he can serve that in the pit lane, Gasly. If there's a safety car, he can serve it then. So it's not over just yet. Let's hear from what Hamilton said over the radio now. It's on the PLC.
Great stuff, Lewis.
There he was. Just great stuff, Lewis. It's always a one of the two, isn't it? Great stuff. And already Hamilton's closing out behind Lance Stroll.
Do better.
Yeah, or do better. Yeah, usually it would be do better, wouldn't it?
Box.
Or get in there, Lewis. That's a top one, isn't it? People put that on T-shirts from what Bono have said to Lewis over the years. Hamilton this time, though. Stroll goes towards the pit wall. Hamilton knows how to play this roundio, though, as he comes down towards turn number 1. No, he'll do it turn 4 again.
Sainz passes Ocon for 11th.
So Sainz then moving up a position. Ocon losing a position as things currently stand. And Alonso and Schumacher now under investigation as Latifi has passed Schumacher. Woohoo. Look at the driver tracker. Here comes Hamilton once again on the inside of turn 4. Gets ahead this time of Lance Stroll. And that was another beautiful move from Lewis Hamilton. It was actually down at turn 7.
He's up against Lando next.
Oh no, correction. That was down at turn 4. I'm getting my sums wrong there.
He's up against Lando now.
Yeah, and Lando. Oh, is anyone having flashbacks to Russia 2 weeks ago?
Oh, I bet Lando's just going to be like, I don't want you to get past me.
Here's Carlos's move. Carlos Sainz's move on Esteban Ocon to the inside, down at turn 12. Nicely done on the inside. And a little bit slow at the exit pal there, but well done for Sainz for passing in there. Time penalty for Fernando Alonso. 5 seconds for causing a collision with Mick Schumacher. So Fernando Alonso, a 5-second time penalty. Josh Plays happily putting them on the chat for us there, as you can see. So time penalty for Fernando Alonso. He'll have to serve that when he comes into the pit lane then. Stationary for 5 seconds.
There better be a safety car soon so that there can be a time penalty thing, because at this rate, there's going to be everyone.
Just think about your
having
bias
time
offset.
penalties.
Still -1.
Perez. Oh,
Bottas
that's it for
we go.
Bottas.
No dry patches or lines yet.
And is that because it's...
There's no dry patches or lines yet.
And he's the one making him.
Well, nothing has changed since 6 o'clock this morning. Nothing has changed in Istanbul. It's all remained the same. So this is going to be a wet race throughout. No matter the bitumen onto the track is still holding all the water. It's just releasing it.
I'll just see
Like
if
when you
there's
press-
any more rain to come.
Like when you press a water bottle up the inside as well. I don't think there's any more
when it
rain.
squirts up in someone's face.
Yeah, that one.
It's funny.
I would have said it a different way than that. Lap 10 of 58 then. 48 to go. Well, 49 to go, including the lap we're on. We're just 15 minutes into this race as it stands after the formation lap started at 3 o'clock Turkish time. 1 o'clock British summer time. And let's just take a look at the driver tracker. The field now starting to spread out. Bottas, Verstappen, Leclerc and Perez, the top 4, sort of moving away. Gasly's dropping back. And Hamilton and Norris are so close coming out now.
So Norris
the
better in
chicane.
turn 8 than the others, but slower on the straights.
Here we go then again. Can Hamilton get ahead of Norris coming into the braking zone?
Please don't.
For turn number 12. He's got the momentum. Hamilton's on the overtake as well. He looks to the inside. Down in towards turn 12. Hamilton deals with Lando Norris easily this time around. Didn't need Lando to go off the track. So
Day for
yeah, it's not one of those days, is it? So Hamilton's P6 now, and 11 laps in, exactly when Lando said Lewis would be on him. He's on him. So
Did
yeah.
Lando predict this?
Yes. So, this title fight is still on. Furthest back a podium has been reached here in Turkey is 11th place. That was Vettel last year. Hamilton this year started P11. Can he get on the podium, or can he go on better and take victory at the Turkish Grand Prix? Gasly, Perez, Leclerc are the cars in front of him before he catches Verstappen, his title rival.
Okay, brake balance 1 click rearwards, brake balance 1 click rearwards, manage rear
Stop
locking.
radio.
And now Verstappen.
Conditions update when you can, please, Max. Are things improving at all or not?
No, not really. I mean, it's getting a tiny bit drier, but still very greasy.
So the track is greasy. So the track's greasy out there then
I bet
for
it's
Max
like
Verstappen.
driving through a bunch of chip oil.
Probably. As they come through then, chip oil gets... You can't remove chip oil either. No matter how hard you scrub, water and chip oil just glazes over the top of it. Oil needs to be, with flour, get it off,
Yeah.
and then...
Is that how you get rid of it?
yeah, flour gets off chip oil off your shoes and that sort of thing as well, yeah.
It's gonna make
Well,
a
it
cake
can-
and just go like...
Well, yeah, it combines the two. So water doesn't get it off, but flour gets it off. Or sand. Sand is actually quite
Ooh,
good.
I hate sand.
Thinking something other than flour that I can get it off with.
Oh,
Definitely
I hate sand. I
going,
think
yeah.
I'll stick to the flour.
Yeah, definitely getting through as well.
Repeat
That
that pace, repeat.
the sand would do it.
34.5 for Bottas, 34.5, Max at 34.6.
Latifi's closing in on Mazepin as well. Let's see if they're going to switch over positions in the next few seconds. Only 0.065 between them, so they're side by side, according to the driver tracker at least. As you can see, Mazepin coming out of the last corner. Hamilton a 1:33.450, fastest lap of the race so far. To the group chat then. As Josh Play says, I think Gasly and Alonso was racing incident. Yeah, I think that was a racing incident. Just got squeezed. Bit unfair to give Gasly the penalty. Latifi now passes Nikita Mazepin. And Adam has got a question for you, Megan. Did you enjoy your ice cream after referring to Red Bull's livery with the ice cream like strawberry jam?
Yeah, me and Joshua had some ice cream with raspberry sauce.
Yes, it was very nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I was thinking to myself, do I want the sauce? And I thought, yeah, just have
Yes.
the sauce on it as well. I
Have
would have
the
been happy
sauce.
with just with the normal ice cream, to be
But
fair.
it's better with the sauce.
Yes, but it was a clotted cream ice cream. It was very nice.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You
I know.
want the sauce.
I don't see anything in my mirrors. So if Latifi is super close, let me know.
Yeah, Latifi just behind you.
He's passed you now, Nikita, and he's got through. So Mazepin drops down to 19th place. I feel horribly for Mick Schumacher there because he was 14th, had a chance at points, and then back down into 20th place. And it's on a day like this, you can have it. And Alonso too, actually, P17, started P5. Look at that, that was Carlos Sainz taking off a visor strip there as well as he hunts down Sebastian Vettel for 10th place, the last of the points-paying positions.
Safe just to put that out on a track? It won't get in someone's car, right?
Oh, it might do, but still, if that happens, it happens. The drivers can't just
Why
leave
not
them
just put it inside the thing?
like a pocket. Yeah, we've been saying this for years. Why they just dropped out there on the side of the track. Hamilton again improves a 1:33.428, but fastest first sector if anybody goes right now to Valtteri Bottas, a 33.669. So that gap is closing down dramatically at the moment. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say what would have been a very happy 98th birthday to the late great Murray Walker. Let's hope we can give him a classic race here today. Of course, the first one he's missed since his passing in March.
He's got a race today with rain, so...
Plenty wet. Tyres wearing down.
Tyres are wearing down, according to Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, if Murray was commentating on this race right now, he'll be jumping up and down the commentary box as well, just looking at the monitor and going, this is incredible. Oh, that sort of thing as well. So yeah, so happy birthday to Murray Walker, wherever you are up there. Hope you're having a great one. And commentating on it with James Hunt as well. That would be ironic. I wonder what James would be saying about this roundabout now. Probably something else about how Gasly is a talentless fool, something or other as well. No, I'll tell you what he would say. Gasly's a French wally. Always has been, always will be. Because he called Jean-Pierre Jarier a French wally in the commentary. And as well, it's unbelievable. And... Murray would finish saying something.
What do you think on track conditions, if they are getting better?
Bottas radio.
Light drizzle, turn 8.
Light drizzle, turn 8. Light drizzle, turn 8. As Sainz dies on the inside. Oh, he hit Vettel! They hit Vettel. Look at that. They hit there, definitely. Vettel's got some form of damage. Vettel's down to 11th place. He might drop even further. I don't think he's coming into the pit lane. Now, what was that? They definitely made contact there.
There it is.
So down into the braking zone, Sainz locks up, Vettel turns in, and there's the contact.
I reckon that'll be Sainz's fault.
Drive straight into me then.
Yeah, drive straight into me then. That was Sainz just locking up, and great job for Vettel to get out of the way there. That was dangerous.
That was... Sainz would definitely probably get a penalty for that.
Yeah. Well, one of James Hunt's things says, what a load of rubbish.
Do you reckon either of them will just saying, I wonder who's going to crash?
Say again?
I wonder if either of them's going to say just like, I wonder who's going to crash.
Well, Sainz doing a very centre move there, wasn't it? Just diving up the inside thinking, you can either move out the way or I'll move out the way.
They're both.
Yeah.
Begin with S.
And look at this. Hamilton still now struggling behind in AlphaTauri. This time the form of Pierre Gasly as they come out of turn 10 as well. Sainz penalty coming? I'm not sure that one.
I would say.
It's been noted by the stewards, however, so it's not an investigation just yet. Here comes Hamilton breezing round the outside of Pierre Gasly in the run down towards P12, and Hamilton is up into 5th.
Right, so Hamilton still has the fastest lap, and he's fastest in Sector 3 as well.
Yeah.
And everything seems to be like...
Calming?
Yeah. Quieting down.
Let's have a look then at Lewis Hamilton. This is another move. Talk us through it, mate.
Right, so he goes... It looks like he's going for the inside, though it makes it look like he's also going for the outside. So
just puts his
basically middle.
center, yeah.
And then goes right round the side.
Work, Lewis.
Another nice work, Lewis, on the board.
I wonder if he ever gets bored of hearing them.
You don't want to be praised all the time, do you?
I bet he's just like, yes, I know it's a nice work, because that's my job.
Yeah. It's a bit boring if you get praised for everything. Lewis Hamilton flicks a switch. That's nice work there, Lewis, from Bono. It must get a bit boring. Although Bono is there to motivate Lewis to go through, but it's give and take a million, really, isn't it?
I can just imagine Bono just doing a chant like a cheerleader was with pom-poms. Just like...
He's actually sat in the Mercedes garage now, dressed in a cheerleading outfit as well, with pom-poms singing out, give me an L.
Give me an N, give me a W, give me an I, give me an S.
Let's not go through the whole chant, thank you very much. I was happy with an L.
I really don't know how he's going to make the H.
Then again, with Lewis Hamilton, he probably doesn't want to take the L, does he? He doesn't want to take the loss. He wants to win this title as much as anybody out there. Well, as much as him and Max Verstappen, although Verstappen saying pre-weekend, it's not going to change my life, winning the title. Found that a bit ironic. I mean, you just won the biggest thing in your career.
I can't move like turn 8 is
It's like there's more important.
Yeah,
things
copy
in my
that, Pierre.
life.
We are a bit stand out in turn 8, but people seem to have bigger problems than us.
Yeah, there's bigger.
At the moment, we are still doing what we think we should be doing.
I love that. The team there just telling Pierre, yeah, there's bigger problems than us right now, Pierre. There's bigger problems as well. UK's got no fuel. You'll have to go buy gasly instead of gasly. You'll have to go buy litery, as Beth was saying. Beth, have you been on the phone to them as well, probably? Coming through that one. Slap 16 of 58. Megan.
The cameras aren't picking up much of the head. The only thing you can see is the flashing light of a rain light.
I'll tell you what, a great idea is if you go... let's just have
Hamilton.
Right side again, a little bit bored. A little bit bored on the inside.
Lewis Hamilton there talking about his hair.
I mean, it's age.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton talking
It's
about...
very common.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton talking about his hair this weekend. It's actually, Megan, if you just stand up for a second, it's actually like yours, but to the side. It's like that this weekend. Have you seen Lewis's hair this weekend? No. It's literally like yours, but plaited and to the side. So, yeah.
Bored on the inside.
What is it with all their team radios today?
They're all they're very loud and very small.
I'm going to have to take one of my ear cups off.
I know, it's a bit loud, isn't it? Let's go to the chat, because Josh Blazer's news as well. It's no investigation necessary for Sainz and Vettel's manoeuvre. Let's hear from Pierre Gasly.
Norris, Hamilton have big front right damage. Big front right damage for Norris.
Does he?
So don't worry too much about
Does Norris have big front one damage the same as Hamilton? Now, we did notice in practice, Megan, didn't we?
That's kind of kind.
It looks
Just
okay.
Like Gasly warning people.
There,
It's like,
there. Real problem as well.
Gasly's just like, does people know this?
Well, we saw this in practice, didn't we, with Max Verstappen? No matter what tyre was on, it was graining massively. The Inter's grained in free practice 3 an awful lot as well, so it's dangerous between them.
Yeah, but I love that. Gasly's just like, do people know that they have damage?
Probably not, but I'm hoping they do know.
Now they know.
Well, in these conditions,
After Trey's just like, you
Unconfirmed, we
guys
can
have
see
damage,
Norris,
right?
Hamilton have big front right damage. Big front right damage for Norris.
So there's a replay of the radio as Carlos Sainz, who started this race in 19th place, is rushing around for 9th place, Yuki Tsunoda, as he's rising up the hill towards turn 2 and 3 as well. So Sainz really having a good run so far, Megan.
Do you reckon any of the teams actually warn each other if they see damage on the car? Do you reckon that happens? Oh, Hamilton radio.
Anyone else complaining of tyres or not?
A firm. We're looking pretty good on aspect.
So, okay, they're looking good on the aspect ratio, but they're not looking great overall for tyre damage.
Do you reckon none of your teams do that?
Any teams do?
Like warn each other if they see damage on one of the cars?
I've seen it happen before in Formula 1.
Well, just like, hey, you do realise you have damage on your car, right?
Mainly it comes from other drivers as well. Like Alonso once told... well, actually, Sterling Moss.
Stay on with the management. Lift and coast. We'll come back to us later. Save it now. Come back to us later.
Sterling Moss once told Mike Hawthorne that there was something wrong with his car. He drove past him and he could see that there was the rear suspension was flapping around. It was minutes away from braking and there was oil leaking. So he pulled up alongside him and he went like that to him to point to the back and he saw it and slowed down. Jeez. So yeah, Sterling just going like that, saying that's it. That's
was that during a race?
Yeah, as Sainz this race dives up the inside and gets ahead of Yuki Tsunoda for P9 down at turn 12. That was a better move than what he did on Sebastian Vettel. No contact between the two. Let's take another look at it. Nicely done. No DRS, of course. This is all on battery power. Gets in the slipstream, dives up the inside, late on the brakes as well. Doesn't lock up, still runs a little bit deep, and was late to turn the apex, but Tsunoda was giving nothing away there.
Look at the difference in time between Hamilton and Bottas.
Well,
Look how creepy that is.
Bottas's times are what? Is a 1:33.355. Hamilton's is a 1:33.366. Okay,
That's creepy.
11 thousandths between their last lap times.
doubles.
Yeah, and that's both their best. Actually, no, that's not Lewis's best lap time, is it? According to the monitor. So that's one to watch out for going forward.
Creepy.
Yeah. Slap 18 of 25. Fastest sector 2 goes to Max Verstappen at 32.693 as well. But 3 seconds now, Valtteri Bottas has the lead to Max Verstappen. Verstappen with the fastest lap of the race so far. Change that. Valtteri Bottas with the fastest lap of the race so far. 1:33.146. It changes as quick as you can say it.
Right. So, I think kind of just like
Calmed.
Yeah, quieted down.
Is that debris on the start-finish straight? What is that little bit of... Hamilton's about to come over it. There's something on the start-finish straight there.
It's either debris or a bird.
I don't know. It could be one of the tear-off strips if it's come off.
I bet it's
Yeah.
Sainz's.
But there's something on the start-finish straight there that
How's the
looked
flap
clear
angle?
and black.
Yeah, I can take a bit more.
Told you those things will be the death of people.
As they come through, say that again.
I said, I told you that will be the death of people. Because I just think it's so dangerous
Yeah.
to have that on the track.
So Bottas down towards turn number 1. And this might explain why the lead has changed. A second away. Yeah, big oversteer moment at the exit of turn 1 there for Valtteri. Sign the tyres are going because, he did hit a damp patch there. The Inters are now being worn down to slicks. They've done 19 laps.
Ooh, it looks like Verstappen hit the damp patch as well.
All teams and all drivers have 3 new sets of intermediates and 2 old sets of intermediates. Usually it's 4 sets a weekend, but the FIA gave them an extra set ahead of FP3. So it's 3 brand new inters and 2 old intermediate tyres per driver. Alongside that, if the rain gets heavier, it's a
Temps are coming down.
3 sets each.
Temps are coming down quite a lot, but we do think saving in 8 is best for overall tyre performance.
Yeah, but it's they've got a total of 3 as well there. As it doesn't look like the rain's going to come down much more, is it? As Ricky is on the radio there as well. Just between them on the Mercedes pit wall. There's Andrew Shovlin, I think, just talking through there, waiting to see what's going to happen next. But don't know what Shov can do about these conditions.
I would love to see what the radar says about the rain.
It just says it's going to be cloudy all day, and it just stays with this overall condition temperature.
I don't like this. I would prefer if something like... We came into this race thinking
drama, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be so much drama, there's going to be rain. And it's just not what anyone expected. I mean, of course, we don't want there to be massive accidents. So a safety car here and then would be appreciated.
Well, surprisingly, it may take you to surprise to know that last year's race here, that was that crazy wet race. No safety cars, only 1 virtual safety car appearance.
Really?
Yeah, no actual safety cars were called into last year's race, which I found...
What a strange thing.
I found that very, very surprising. But yeah, that was the situation that's happening at the moment. And
Nice
let's hear from
radio.
Norris.
And Lando, relative to target, how far do you think this tyre can go?
I mean, it's turned into a slick basically, so quite a long way.
So this is what we were seeing last year. Don't you remember as well when Hamilton wore down the intermediates to basically just slick tyres, so that they've still got a little bit of tread, but basically they're slick. So these tyres can actually go quite a long way. I'm thinking we could see pit stops around about lap 30.
Maybe, yeah.
George Russell said it's going to be a 3-stop, maybe 4-stop race. Could be a 1-stopper.
I mean, we're nearly halfway through and no one's stopped once.
Fast lap for Hamilton, 133.019 at the moment. Let's go through the field and start off with the top 5. Valtteri Bottas.
Track's still very greasy, just not drying.
And that's Verstappen.
Copy that.
So fronts feel very greasy into turn 9.
You know that.
That's an interesting one to watch out for then. Let's go throughout the field then here with how they look so far, and we'll go into the battle mode as well. Your race leader, Valtteri Bottas, leads on lap 21 of 58 before the first pit stops. Max Verstappen in second, Charles Leclerc third, Sergio Perez fourth, and Lewis Hamilton is in P5.
In P6 is Pierre Gasly, 7th is Norris, 8th Stroll, 9th Sainz, and 10th is Tsunoda.
Sebastian Vettel, P11, Esteban Ocon, P12, Antonio Giovinazzi, 13th, Kimi Raikkonen, 14th, George Russell at the moment in 15th place. Dropped a couple since where he started.
In 16th is Ricciardo, which is his original grid position, what he was meant to be, so. And it's 13th, who rocketed down the field early on in the race, was Alonso. 18th is Latifi, 19th Mazepin, and 20th is Schumacher. And I've got to say, Latifi, originally, after he had that little bit of contact, spin, he said that there might be a puncture. He's gone fine.
How much faster could you be on a new Inter, do you think?
Yep. Yeah, faster, quite a bit.
So the drizzle's hanging around in the air.
That was
and
basically just them telling him slow.
yeah, Ricciardo's saying, give me a new set of intermediates. I can and will go faster. So basically, we're all now waiting to think, are we going to be in for a pit stop window? Are they all going to come in and change tyres?
I don't know. You want to see slow?
Yeah.
You got to actually see Russell and Ricciardo right now.
Russell
They're
is
both slow. Alonso.
Russell is 135, and Alonso 135 as well. Ricardo 136 his last
Now
lap time.
79.
Pit stop,
Not
pit stop.
bad.
Is this which one of this in? I can't see at
It's
the moment.
Ricardo because he's really slow.
It's Danny Ricciardo coming into the pit lane then, so he's the first one to take to pit road. Now, intermediate tyres have to be the changeover. It's a brand new set. He has 3 of these to play with. Brand new set of inters, away he goes, but the pit lane is bone dry. Look at that. No slipperiness there, 2.8 seconds. So Ricciardo will jump just in front of the 2 Haas cars, but he should be able to get up there further. You can see the green dot on your driver tracker, which shows Ricciardo's just left the pit lane, and he's going to chase down Nicholas Latifi next up.
He does seem to be quite a bit faster now. I mean, we're not on the corners. He's quite slow.
Yeah.
That's worrying, actually.
Closing up as Bottas 2.823 between himself and Verstappen. Fog now starting to come in as we've got a yellow on the track. There's a yellow flag down in sector 13. And it's Yuki Tsunoda, who's done a 360 at turn 9.
He's just doing donuts around that little pole.
Yeah, and away he goes. Yuki Tsunoda, pole dancer. Must be his new call here as he gets back round and exits. He only loses 2 places to Ocon and Giovinazzi.
That was odd.
Yeah, it was a very odd spin. Let's take a look at it again. Does he get on the white line to the braking zone, or does he do what Verstappen and Vettel did yesterday?
Or he just decided to dance with his car.
Let's take a look. Clips the inside, hits the spray, and exactly as what happened to Verstappen and Vettel yesterday, just launches him off the track as he does a little 360. So Beth and Josh were asking how much 360s we'll see today. We've seen, 3, 4 so far today?
Yeah.
4.
4.
Yeah. Let's go to the chat then quick as Adam is saying, we did say in the pre-race show for the Grid Network that Bottas would be in the way of Max Verstappen yesterday. It's happening. It absolutely is. 2.8 seconds now. The gap between them, 2.6. It's closing between each other. As Josh says, Yuki Tsunoda spin down at turn 9 and continued. So he's bringing us our race control chats. Thank you, Josh, again. Power failure up here in the comms box as it comes back to us.
It's back.
Yeah. Not sure what happened there because that also has our driver tracker. So a little bit of a power failure, but hopefully we're still broadcasting.
I don't know. I haven't.
Well, outside our commentary box. No, it's sunshine and roses out there.
Electrical?
Could be, yeah. Electrical for Charles Leclerc. Look at this, fast up of the race, a 132.981 as well. So improving there. Hamilton's done 23 laps on his tyres. In fact, looking at it, only Ricciardo has stopped this race. His last lap time is what we're actually waiting for his fastest time. Let's hear from Charles.
So at the moment, Ricciardo is slower with new inters.
Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, he is. Look at that. 152 was his last lap time. And I think he has completed laps, hasn't he, since coming in?
Yeah, that was after coming out the pit lane.
Yeah, so what's his actual time going to be? Where is Ricciardo? Let's look at the driver tracker. There he is. Look,
he's actually quite fast.
Yeah, he's just coming down towards turn 11. He's doing fastest sectors 1 and 2. His personal best, 34s, when everyone else is doing... Actually, he's quicker than Bottas in that first sector. Bottas at 34.912. Yeah, Ricciardo 34.910. So he's 2,000ths quicker, and he's a lot quicker in the second sector. 133.873 then is Ricciardo's fastest time. So he is actually overall slower than what we are seeing for Valtteri Bottas at the moment. But when is the pit stops going to become the factor here so far?
He's literally 100th of a second slower.
Yeah, so that is still an option for pit stops. Blue flags being initiated as Valtteri Bottas is going to catch and pass Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. And that hurts, actually. 25 laps later, lapped cars. Schumacher started 14th, should have got it, and hasn't happened. You stayed broadcasting, just chat blinked. Oh, that's great news then.
Oh.
So yeah, it's just the chat that blinked as well, because you watched the monitor which the YouTube chat and the driver tracker are on. We use a HDMI capture card to get the driver tracker and the YouTube chat, because it's all on one monitor for us up in the commentary box. In fact, you might have seen it. I'll show it to you quickly. This is a direct copy of the monitor we have up here in the box. So that is the monitor that we look at directly below as well. So that's the same one. As more rain in turn 9. It's raining again. Oh, that's after this long turn 8. So this is where the rain's coming down then at turn 9. So Inters might have been the right call there for Danny Ricciardo after all.
He's just like, you fools.
Yeah. Oh, it really is. Look at that. It really is raining down there, isn't it? You can see the amount of rain coming down. The track is so much darker right now. Oh, it is game on for the Turkish Grand Prix in 2021 as well. As the rain's coming down the last sector, it's now hitting the clouds even worse. Megan?
Okay, so far this is averaging, like, the amount of laps we've already done, correlating with the time.
Oh, we've done 40 minutes exactly, coming up soon.
Is a minute 10 for each lap for some reason. I don't see
well,
why.
because it's a 1:30 lap time, isn't it? That's an interesting one.
So, judging by that perspective, we're going to be done with this race 68 minutes.
Bottas saying there's a bit more rain now, and if that rain comes down, these intermediate tyres are dead, basically. They're not good enough for heavier rain. They'll all have to pit again.
Right, so fastest second sector is Perez, and I feel like I need to be turned down a bit because I've got a bit, like, louder now, and I feel like this isn't working.
Nope, it's fine.
I feel like it isn't working that well. Maybe I just need to put it further away from me.
Yeah, that might do it.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, as they come through. This is why I said lip mics would be easier.
Yes, but then I'll be very, very tired because I'll just be holding it for ages.
Any updates from Ali? I'll text him to see what he's saying as he comes through.
Right, so Mazepin has now been lapped, as well as Schumacher.
I've sent him the message to see as well any weather updates. I will get it as well. The only thing he told me was pre-race that it was raining at the start, and it stopped raining. And now, is it raining again is the question, because we're seeing raindrops as well. Trackside temperature... Yeah, sorry?
And Roses?
Guns N' Roses? Trackside?
No. He said, we're seeing raindrops, and I said, and Roses?
Oh, right. Track temperature, 18 degrees. Air temperature, 15 degrees as well at the moment, so it's cool out there. Let's hear from Colour Science.
Yeah, I think we should try and one stop from here.
Copy. I think we should try one stop. So bang goes George's plan for
I would have chose a different
a four-stopper.
I'd say confident.
Yeah, confident. Are you sure?
It's like, are you really sure?
Bit like Chris Tarrant.
Yeah, I think we should try and one stop from here.
Copy.
So a bit like Chris Tarrant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Is that your final answer? Confident? Look at the rain cloud. What do you make of that then, Megs?
Showers.
It's hovering around the circuit though, so...
Looks like sprinkles.
Yeah. Rain on turn 9. Ali says, drizzling, no wets. I think Inters throughout the race. That's what Ali's just texted me as well. He's trackside for us this weekend as well. So this could be closing up on the action.
We're 45 minutes in, apparently.
Yep. Well, actually a bit longer than that.
I'm not sure.
43 minutes into the... 42 minutes. Let's hear from Valtteri.
So pace is still very good, and we're going long.
So we're going long.
These tires, they're basically like slicks now. There's no surface left, but they're okay.
So slick tyres.
Expecting any significant rain.
It's not.
So they're not expecting significant rain. And as you heard from Ali as well, who's trackside for us, it is going through.
Yeah, the car's still out on Inter from the start. They're starting to struggle a bit more now.
Ricardo.
No, Ricardo.
They've all just come through. Let's hear from Max Verstappen, shall we? On the radio.
Car's not pointing now.
Car's not braking correctly now.
So I guess we shouldn't add the wing.
Thank you.
So don't add more front wing ballast. The car's not braking. There's where Ali is sat, actually, if you're watching on with us. He's sat in that grandstand just behind as well with the Ferrari flag sticking up. And he's saying it's drizzling, but it should stay intermediates. So thanks to Ali, who's trackside for us. And Josh says we can hear you loud and clear, Megan. Let's hear from Lewis Hamilton.
Grip's starting to drop a little bit. Still no dry line. Exit of 8 only.
Really, these are loud.
Yeah, the exit at turn 8 is now the only part of the track that has got a dry line appearing in it. And the reason turn 8 is because it's an 8G corner. You're going max G on your neck throughout turn 8, the quadruple part of it. So you get a lot more speed through there. So of course it's drying up quicker.
Drop a little bit.
More friction.
Still no dry line.
I do feel like
Exit
these
of
are
8
like
only.
oddly loud.
Yeah,
and it's actually hurting my ears.
They've all been a bit weird this weekend, haven't they, with their team radios?
Yeah.
You're actually taking it off your ear now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you had, yeah.
It's like, I don't know what that the teams have done to their radios, though I don't like it.
Yeah, they're not working very well here in Turkey, are they? It's been a bit here and there all weekend long, really. But
like
was that also? Oh, I thought Hamilton had front wing failure then, but it's water coming off. Let's hear from Vettel.
Sebastian, do you think it might dry before the end of the race? Do you think it will reach dry tyres?
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh.
Mazepin! Get out of the way! Mazepin's got blue flags and he nearly just took out Lewis Hamilton down through turn 11. Hamilton was going to the inside.
He just realised he ain't racing him, right?
Mazepin chopped him off. Nikita, you are an absolute moron. Get out of Formula 1, you useless piece of untalented annoyance.
So we're halfway through the race.
Close.
Are we?
Yes.
Alonso. Alonso has a time penalty in his next stop.
That's Russell. So yeah, we're halfway
there.
Halfway there in the Turkish Grand Prix. After 45 minutes, so your prediction's bang on for it being a 91-minute race. Megan.
And it personally...
Josh plays, sorry, I agree. And Adam is saying as well, I think intermediates for the rest of the race. I agree with you there.
I feel like the team radios right now are like someone's whispering into a microphone against my ear.
And then shouting throughout the microphone for the drivers coming back, yeah. Yeah, the team side is quiet, the driver's side's really loud. They haven't found the neutral this weekend.
It must be really windy.
Yeah. Well, it must be. And, of course, the microphone is inside the helmet.
Either that or my brain just feels weak.
Yeah, and the microphone as well. I've always said, why don't the drivers wear these smaller versions of these lapel mics alongside each other, like you see,
I feel like you just
Michael McIntyre used.
I can
imagine. I feel like it'd be very difficult.
Here's
to
the
get
replay.
to
Look.
Slick face.
Did you see Lewis? Did you see Lewis's finger there? Lewis's finger almost went into the one-fingered salute. Because Mazepin literally just came across him and shut the door at turn 11 when he looked like he was letting Lewis through. Lewis went up the inside and Mazepin shut the door on him. Mazepin, in the words of James Hunt, Mazepin, you wally. What on earth is he doing?
I don't know. He does know that that's like not what he's meant to be doing. That is being.
Let's say it from Valtteri.
Still raining from turn 6 till turn 12.
So from turn 6 to 12, so that's the entire sectors 2 and 3, it is still raining out there. So sectors 2 and 3 is rain.
I tell you what, do you know the rear wings?
Yeah.
It looks like tiny little wings because of all the spray.
Still raining from turn 6 till turn 12.
We've already heard that.
Sonoda's ready now.
Main place, turn 1, turn 3, last 3 corners we can improve.
So that's where he can improve throughout the racing duration,
It looks like tiny little wings, and it's on the Red Bull cars. I mean, I guess it's true. It does give you wings.
Let's have a look. Yes, it does. Yeah. Let's have a look then. This is... that's Esteban Ocon. Nearly getting hit off by Sebastian Vettel before Ocon did go... Ocon, Vettel's driving everywhere, but Ocon is like a man possessed. So Vettel made the mistake, then Ocon made a mistake down at turn 12, both understeering, and then he tried to move on the inside, and then backed out of it when Vettel chopped him off. Well, Vettel was returning the racing line. That's just racing between them. That's not an instant, that's just pure racing between them. That's great to see. Yeah. Vettel and Ocon battling over the last point-paying position, and are properly going for it then. I'm also very surprised as well. We haven't had a spinner, we haven't had a crash, we haven't had a virtual safety car or a normal safety car.
Suffering along with the rear now too.
Verstappen struggling with the rear tyre now as well, as a blue flag is out there for who, Megan Birch?
Schumacher.
So who's he got alongside him then to pass? Where's Schumacher on the radar?
Probably Gasly.
Where is Schumacher on the...
Gasly's probably passing him.
Oh, I forgot. He's been lapped, hasn't he? So we've got to change the driver tracker now to show him being lapped. Where is he? There we go. So that's the full driver tracker situation at the moment. I hope you can read it. Nothing else we can do on it. Schumacher now is... Well, he's in white, so I can't see him still. Is he 2 laps down or a lap down? He's only a lap down.
Only a lap.
Well, I can't see him. That's really bizarre.
Neither can I.
Yeah, hang on. That is really, really bizarre. I can't find... There he is. We've got the right one now.
Oh, yeah, I was right. Gasly.
Yeah, so it's Gasly who's going to be the one giving him the laps.
Gasly was hiding him.
Yeah, as he comes through on the monitor. Hamilton on top if he gets Perez. Yeah. And they're closing in.
I can see a dry line in places, but only a few places. Turn 8, turn 9, and breaking into turn 12.
So that's Bottas saying that there is a dry line appearing on the track now, but with this drizzle still on the track as well, exactly where is he going to push it?
Latifi passes Alonso. Oh, Alonso
Out!
He's in the pit. Oh!
5-second penalty, Megan, remember? So that's why he stopped there. Yeah. Well, it's the way the pit lane's gone in, look. And Hamilton, so that's an 8.8 second stop for Fernando Alonso. He becomes our second driver to the pit lane today and takes on a brand new set of intermediate tyres as Hamilton closes down on Sergio Perez for 4th place. An idea that maybe Hamilton can get the podium. The title fight is back on. The Turkish Grand Prix has gone through a bit of a lull, but we are about to go back to title fight action here in Turkey. It's about to get tasty.
Leclerc still has the fastest lap.
Overtake available.
Just putting that out.
Yeah, what is his fastest lap time in this race so far? I can take a look if I can get to the lap times as well. 1:32.981 is his fastest lap, is Charles Leclerc. So he's still got that fastest lap bonus point at the moment, as things stand. Bottas Radio, sorry.
You can get more temperature, so start avoiding water.
You can get more temperature, but start avoiding water. I'm sure that'll be replayed to us on the PLC channel in just a second on the live timing that you can get. Megan?
Do you know what I would say if I was Valtteri? I'd just be like, yes, on a wet track, I'm going to avoid water. That makes sense. Also, it's raining in parts of a track, so I'll try my best to avoid the air.
Is it possible that dries could be used as the next stop? Are they just wasting these intermediate tyres to go straight to the dry tyres?
I'm not sure. The only people I think are racing the intermediates are...
Well, the two have pitted, Ricciardo and Alonso.
Yeah, them two. Because everyone else is fine.
Alonso's now a lap down.
Only Ricciardo, he wasted it.
Copy, see if you can get more temperature. So
Bottas saying the rear tyres are becoming a bit snappy, but snapping at the back of the Red Bull heels is Lewis Hamilton, closing down on Sergio Perez for 4th place. Perez trying to break the toe as well. Hamilton is half a tenth away as well as he comes down the hill in towards turn 1 again. Only one previous Turkish Grand Prix was rain affected. That was last year. It's very unusual to have 2 wet weather races in a row here in Turkey.
Hamilton's been stuck behind Perez for a while now.
Ferrari, it's raining more now. That's some Carlos. It's raining again. This is going to be another crazy race, just like it was in Russia. 26 laps to go. Rain coming down once again. It's all starting to come into focus now as Verstappen and Hamilton battle for the World Championship of 2021.
Yeah, Hamilton's been stuck behind Perez for a while.
Yes.
I cannot get past this car.
After this weekend, just 6 races remain. The American Grand Prix, the Mexican Grand Prix, the Brazilian Grand Prix, the Qatar Grand Prix, the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, and the United Arab Emirates Grand Prix, which is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as well. So it's all starting to come in now.
Right, so... It's lap 34 now of 56, and Ricciardo passes Latifi for 16th.
So back into his grid position again, where he should have started.
And we've been racing for 50... I would say 56 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, it's 1 hour 7 to go, so that's 53 minutes.
Now plus 15.
Yeah. Hamilton's struggling out there on the intermediate tyres as well, because he came out turn 11 and was just squiggling the car all around.
I think it's time for us to pit.
Yeah, he's lost 4 tenths. 4 tenths he's lost in the last lap to Perez.
I think Lewis should pit now.
There's the radio.
Understood. We think condition will stay like this for the rest of the race.
So that's the team radio we heard in full there. It's going to stay here it is. And this is how Ricciardo passed Latifi. Latifi went right to the pit wall. Oh, he thought Ricciardo was going to swing around the outside. Ricciardo held the inside line and pretty much sold him a dummy into turn 1.
He's just like... It was basically just like an opening of a door. Just like, no, you don't. Just like, thank you for the pass.
Yeah. Latifi there proving that he didn't know what the undercut was and just slipped up the inside. So an early Christmas present there for Nicholas Latifi. 2 months early.
A lesson.
Less than 2 months. Yeah. What time is it? It's 10th of 10. So it's 10:10. Which means it was 10 years ago today that we had the Japanese Grand Prix. When it was, 11 years ago today, it was the Japanese Grand Prix because it was 10-10-10. Or was that Korea 2010 with another wet race? Either way,
something was 10-10-10.
Here comes
the people that fitted.
And here comes Lewis Hamilton then going right round the outside of Sergio Perez. Perez goes late into turn 12. Hamilton's going to go with him though. He's trying to hold him around the outside. He comes the inside into turn 13. Perez closes the door. Hamilton then goes side by side. Perez crosses the pit lane line. He might get a penalty. Yeah, he might not get a tries to go on the inside as well. Hamilton tried to shut the door. Perez dives on the inside, gets the lead back, runs off. Bit of oversteer. Perez stays in 4th place over Lewis Hamilton. But Hamilton forced him towards the pit lane. He crossed the pit lane bollard.
Exactly.
Yeah, surely
he knew it was there.
Is that a slam dunk? I don't know. Hamilton again trying to pass him around the outside into turn 4. Perez goes defensive. Hamilton now on the comeback through 5.
Oh, Norris goes into the pits.
So Norris pits then for brand new set of intermediate tyres. Here comes Hamilton now with the attack, with the advantage and with the pressure. 3.6 seconds for Lando.
I think that Lewis might get a penalty for that because he deliberately forced Perez off into the pit lane. He knew it was there.
I don't think it'll be a penalty, but Perez did cross that line.
I would say 3 seconds. Do we give 3 seconds?
Can you? It's not the fact he crossed the pit lane line. It's the fact he crossed the bollard. He crossed the pit lane entry bollard. Let me take a look at the regulations to see if this says anything.
Yeah, but he was forced.
He crossed the pit lane bollard across the line from safety car line 1. So, does that mean he has to come into the pit lane?
No, because he was racing at the time and he was being forced onto off the track, and it would have been safe either way.
I'm trying desperately to have a look as Hamilton attacks Perez once again, but is it a rule that he has to come into the pit lane?
I wouldn't.
If he crosses that bollard.
Well, it's like the Norris incident. Oh, and Hamilton tries to go up out the inside, it looked like. Though he also did that. Latifi enters the pits.
So he becomes our 3rd stopper of the day.
4 more like.
Lines of car. Here we go. Lines on bollards at pit entry. That's 19 of the race director's rules. In accordance with Chapter 4, Section 5, Appendix L of the ISC, drivers must keep to the left of the solid white line at the pit exit when leaving the pits. Here we go. Pit entry. Here it is. Except in the cases of force majeure, accepted as much by the stewards, the crossing by any part of the car in any direction of the painted area between the pit entry and the track by a driver who the opinion stewards have committed to pit entry lane is prohibited.
Yeah, he was forced, so he's exempt.
The dotted white line across the pit entry is the track edge line. So Hamilton forced Perez off the track. No matter the track there, the fact that Perez was forced into the pit lane area, according to this rule right here, Article 19.3 in the practice starts race director's notes, that would be as box for Verstappen and Tsunoda pits. That's Hamilton forcing another driver off the track. You're right.
Russell also.
Hamilton might get a penalty there. Russell pits too. Yeah. So, except in the case of force majeure, the crossing by any part of the car in any direction of the painted area between the pit entry and on the track by a driver who, in the opinion of the stewards, has committed to the pit entry line is prohibited. But he forced him off the track as Verstappen pits. That promotes Charles Leclerc to go into 2nd position then. And it's a new set of intermediate tyres as well for Verstappen, as far as I can tell, going out there at the moment. Yeah, I think it is. Brand new Winters as well.
Our timing screen stopped.
Yeah, 2.1 seconds as well. And yeah, our timing screen has stopped at the moment. And this one's okay. This one isn't. I'm wondering what's causing that problem.
It's the same that happened the other day.
Right, I'll just refresh then. So yeah, what is happening, according to that information that I'm receiving from the stewards, that would be Lewis Hamilton receiving a penalty for forcing another driver.
They're double-checking Sainz's wheels.
Yeah, well, that's just going to make sure sorry one. But that would be, in my rule book, Lewis Hamilton receiving a penalty for forcing another driver off the track. Surely you would agree there, Megs?
Yes, I
Sainz
completely agree.
pits, and it is 5 seconds, remember, for what's happening? Is it a 5-second penalty? Yeah. Away he goes. 8.1 seconds. But hang on, did they do the work before he served the penalty?
Probably.
That's not allowed. That's not allowed. You have to wait there and then do the penalty. But that's not what happened. They did. So Ferrari might get told to do it again there. It's all go here in Turkey at the moment. I would be very surprised if Hamilton does not get a penalty, or at least a black and white flag, as Stroll leaves the pit lane. No, I'm right, it's Vettel. And he's on slicks! Vettel's on slicks, Megan! Vettel's on slicks as into the pit lane because Valtteri Bottas, the race leader, into the pit lane now.
He's on me.
We've got a yellow. Don't know where.
Is it Vettel?
Well, there's a yellow flag somewhere. Sector 4. It's Vettel. It's Vettel.
What a surprise.
Vettel is stuck out on the track and has brought out a yellow flag. According to our monitors,
Perez pits.
Hamilton is up there and then into 4th place. Talk us through it, Megs.
Right, so Perez goes out of the pit lane. Very smooth start. 2.5 seconds. Quickest today, I think.
Yeah.
So Gasly takes 5th now, and it's
another yellow.
I don't know. I just keep seeing the green light flash.
Yeah, another yellow out there on the track, and it's Vettel again. Vettel off again on those drives.
What possessed him to go on the mediums?
Well, he thought he may as well try it, but it hasn't worked. It is a disaster.
Go pit.
So, who's pitted? Bottas has pitted. Leclerc leads.
Oh, it's not working.
Yeah, it's not working. It's not working. No point.
Yeah, I could tell you that because it's raining.
Yeah, far too early for slicks. Wrong decision, and it is the wrong decision. He had to take the gamble, I suppose, but it hasn't paid off. So Leclerc leads. Bottas second. He's pitted. Verstappen third. He's pitted. So Bottas has managed to do the overcut on Max Verstappen there while we were having graphics failures up here in the box. It's Bottas pitting from the lead of the race. He's now P2 as Vettel's struggling to get round. As through now comes Gasly as well on the lap down.
You watch Leclerc's going to win.
Let's not go that far. And let's have a look then what happened with Sebastian Vettel up in the hill at turn 4. This is what caused the first yellow.
It's like Lando.
Does he spin?
In Russia.
Yeah. Oh, he's just drifting off the track. It's identical to Lando, yeah. It's too wet for dries at the moment.
Yeah.
Everybody else who's pitted has gone on to the intermediates. Leclerc leads and has the fastest lap of the race so far. Bottas, we don't know what tyre Bottas is on. We don't know. No race control messages yet.
I don't even know he pitted.
Yeah, look, Bottas has been to the pit lane, that's why Leclerc leads, as Vettel now dives down pit road again to take off those tyres. So, yeah, while we were reading the rule book, which would state that, as it would stand, there would be no issue there between Perez getting a penalty, but the fact that Hamilton forced him off the track effectively, according to the letter of the law, quite surprised Red Bull aren't on the radio saying he forced us off the track. Surely he should get a penalty for that.
Red Bull's probably just like, do you know what? We can't deal with this today.
Well, it's going to be close because now Verstappen and Hamilton are third and fourth, but Hamilton hasn't stopped yet.
He's going to stop soon.
Bottas and Verstappen have.
Gasly hasn't either.
Yeah, Vettel's gone back to intermediate tyres. Well, Leclerc hasn't stopped. Leclerc's got 6.8 seconds now between them. And this is Sebastian Vettel coming into the pit lane. Did he touch the pit lane line? Drifting! He spun in the pit lane. Oh, Vettel just... That was definitely not the right call. Well, of course, the pit lane's going to be very, very wet, isn't it?
Can you reverse
no
the
inters.
pit lane?
No, you can't reverse on the track either. So he managed to keep it going. That would have been close. Lap 40 of 58, 19 to go.
Lucky Perez and Hamilton wasn't there.
Yeah, so Charles Leclerc leads a lap of the Turkish Grand Prix. Ferrari could sense a victory here, but how long can he keep those intermediate tyres going for? Especially with the fact that Valtteri Bottas is closing him down at around about 6/10 per lap.
And I want to know...
Who's that? Gasly.
Probably. I want to know why Leclerc's only done 38 laps on those tyres. He hasn't pitted, and it's lap 40.
Ah, look, it's changed now, lap 39, so it's completing the lap you're on, then they'll take over. So he has done all the race on those. Gasly serving his time penalty now. 5 seconds and away. That was the longest 5 seconds. Intermediate tyres go on. Away he goes. So 9.2 seconds there for Gasly. The slowest of the 5 seconds we've had so far today. As Lance Stroll is just behind him. And Gasly will get out ahead of Stroll. So he only loses position to Perez.
That's not so bad.
That's not bad.
Nice.
Let's have a look at Gasly Alonso on the start, Megs.
Right, so... Oh, why are we having a replay here?
So this is why the Gasly had a 5-second penalty.
So Perez goes up the inside of Gasly and Fernie
Gasly,
gets
yeah.
Sandwich. It's Perez.
That's a racing incident. That does not need to be given a thing there at all. That was not a penalty in my book. That's a wrong call. That's the wrong call for me.
It was. It was just an accident.
Arguably, I'd just give a black and white flag to Hamilton or no further action. But he did force Perez off the track, which I'm very surprised that there's been nothing from the stewards.
Yeah.
The letter of the law shows it should be some form of thing, and it's nothing. So
I don't get why.
So Leclerc radio.
Can I stay with this set until the end of the race?
Yes, you can stay until the end with this set.
He hasn't pitted once.
Is Charles Leclerc going for history and not stopping?
I don't know. I really want him to win now and not stop. I really want him to.
I'm trying to think, is there a letter of the law where he would have to do a mandatory pit stop? I don't think there is.
There isn't.
Not for wet races. For dry races, both tyre compounds must be used. But in wet weather, you can just use the intermediates.
Can I stay with this set until the end of the race?
Yes, you
Is Charles Leclerc going to do history? and complete a race with one set of tyres. I mean, I know technically Verstappen's done it, and Senna did it in 91 in Adelaide, and in the shortened races. But to do a whole 300 kilometres on one set of intermediate tyres, I'm sort of rooting for Leclerc now.
I am too.
If he can do that, that will be absolute history.
Either way, the amount he can go on them, I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, who was that? Thinking about it, Nico Rosberg did 52 laps out of 53 on a set of hard tyres at Russia. Esteban Ocon did 56 laps out of 58 we had at Portimao.
They're pitting Hamilton.
Yeah, this will be for Lewis then to come in, and there's a dry line appearing, but it's not dry enough for slicks. It's going to remain inters. Leclerc's happy.
Gotta really watch turn 8, right?
A firm, manage 8, you're doing a good job.
That's Stroll radio. So, and Hamilton goes round again, Meg, so he's fine. Is Hamilton going to try and stay on these tyres to the end of the race? Leclerc and Hamilton have done 40 laps on these set of tyres.
And Ocon.
Let's say Hamilton.
Box.
Why?
New inset is the way to go.
I don't think it is, man.
Right.
Okay, so Hamilton's falling into the clutches of Lando Norris. And I'm sensing deja vu, because a year ago, Hamilton said the same thing about no new inters when the track is like this. And Leclerc must have remembered what Hamilton did last year, and remembered what he did as well last year by finishing second. Admittedly, he finished fourth, but he locked up at the last corner. Was the fact is that he can make those inters go the whole race. So, are we going to see Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton complete the race on one set of intermediate tyres? And Ocon, yeah.
Ocon hasn't pitted either.
Ocon, Hamilton and Leclerc are the only drivers not to stop.
Box.
Why?
I love that from Hamilton. It's just like, why? Questioning his life.
Can you do over 300 kilometres on one set of tyres?
We'll see.
That is an amazing achievement. Look, they're still there, but they're back in the blankets. So they're now having an argument over the radio, presumably that we're not hearing right now, saying, well, do we pit or do we stay? Should I stay or should I go now? Let's see.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
It feels like we should stay out, man.
Okay, we'll stay out one more lap. Give us a bit more thinking.
One more lap.
Make that 2 more laps.
Yeah, 2 more, because he's gone back through, so he hasn't stayed out again. So Hamilton now doing another lap, but Hamilton's racing instincts, the same as Leclerc and Ocon, are saying that we can do this on one set of tyres.
Hamilton's like, I've run a race with 3 tyres before, I can do this.
I'm really now trying to think to myself, is there a letter of the law that says that you have to have more than one set of tyres in a race?
I don't think there is.
Tyre notes not permitted to switch.
Feels like we should stay out, man.
Oh, we've heard that one. Let's hear from Max Verstappen, though. Who's third?
Okay, Hamilton has stayed out. He's been asked to pit.
According to this, according to Pirelli's guide, there is no letter of the law about how many laps they can do on a set of one-inters. So Hamilton's wanting to maintain that gap, because where he is at the moment in the championship, I think they would be level on points. I think where they are, they'd be level. 25, 18... 15, 12. 15 and 12. Okay, so there might be 1 point. Verstappen would lead by a point.
I think he wants to close that gap.
Yeah, this is weird. Let's go to the group chat. As Adam says, what's the fuel situation with Hamilton's car? Should be good to the end of the race. Yeah. He's saved enough, and he can save now while he's stuck behind in this little bit of no man's land.
We've been told you will not get flags for Vettel unless we get within 1.
Not far off the rise, but...
Oh.
Okay, copy Lewis. We won't react yet.
15 laps to go, and as I said yesterday in the grid network, we won't know who the winner of the Turkish Grand Prix will be until the last 15 laps. I am being proved absolutely correct in that manner that we do not know who's going to win this race until we get to the last 15 laps. Can Leclerc, Hamilton and Ocon make it to the end on one set of tyres?
I really want them to.
This is insane. Absolutely. Look, guys, Bottas is closing in, but they think that dry tyres could be a factor at the end of this race. Bottas 2.4 seconds back from Leclerc, who's now going to lap Esteban Ocon. So Leclerc leads this race.
They're both just like, but no pit club.
Yeah, they're both non-pit. Let's hear from Verstappen.
I don't know who's knows where my steering wheel, but it's going more and more left-hand up.
Oh, left-hand down. Oh, so his steering's going. Oh, well, this could be another one. This is absolutely balmy in this race right now. There isn't one, in wet races, I believe, Joshua. Yeah, there's no mandatory pit stop in this race because it's a wet race. So that is good to know. This is Leclerc, though, down at turn 12. Has he had a lock-up? No, he's drifted offline and lost 1.2. 1.2. Bottas is on the back of him now. That's Leclerc making an error.
It doesn't matter. Bottas is going to have to pit soon.
If it's dries.
Yeah.
Well, arguably so will Leclerc.
Yeah, but Bottas, I just feel like...
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't really want Bottas to win this one now.
I do, because this could be Bottas' last ever Grand Prix win, because he goes off to Alfa Romeo.
No, I really want to see how Leclerc does.
Well, he's in the 10th now. Let's hear from Leclerc.
Either way, I'm happy.
At this pace, what are we looking for in terms of position?
I don't know what's wrong with my P1.
Obviously.
So, obviously, they want to go P1, but it's not going to work like that because Bottas is hunting him down.
Either way, I'm going to be happy.
This is going to be an interesting race. We're going to get another different winner this year, no matter where you look at it, unless Verstappen can close down 7 seconds, which I think is highly unlikely.
He's never won here.
Yeah. Look how bald those Inters are, says Josh Plays as well. Adam says, you go, Josh, as well. Yeah, I'm happy I got that 15-lap prediction right, that we didn't know what was going to happen. 14 laps to go as it stands. Those Inters at Charles Leclerc are basically slicks, but they're slicks that can handle the wet conditions. If I was feeling bold, if I was Danny Ricciardo or anyone below him, I'd stick on a set of slicks round about now. Set of soft tyres, one of a brand new hot, sticky C4 tyres. Get out there and see what you can do.
Are you cold too?
I'm fine.
How?
Because I know I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt and it's October, but I'm actually quite energetic.
I think he's trying to hang it out in case it gets to dry tyres.
So yeah, that's what Verstappen and his engineer think as well. The fact that Leclerc's trying to hold out to the end of the tyres as well. But here we go. Look, Bottas is closing up on him. He might have a go here.
Oh.
He might have a go in towards turn 4. Leclerc's going to have to go defensive. Bottas is so much faster. Can he find the right position? Can he find an overtaking spot as they head down down towards turn 6? So really, the opportunity is coming up, which is turn 7, which is where Albon passed Vettel last year. For what was third? Is it going to be a similar situation? No.
The gap is now at 0.4 seconds. And it's
closing between them as well. You said 0.4.
Getting bigger now.
0.5 as they go round, as Sainz is battling with Ocon. Ocon hasn't changed tyres yet.
Very good. Leclerc ahead is struggling. He hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah, I was just about to say, better keep an eye on that one. Oh no!
What?
Oh no, it's fine. They've had an error. I thought Sainz dives up the inside of Esteban Ocon, and Sainz goes up to P8 ahead of Esteban Ocon.
Got 15 minutes, Josh.
Well, look, it's gone wrong. Look, the timing graphics, and I thought for just a brief second because I saw that, and then I thought, oh god, I've missed the race. Leclerc right here.
Yes, if I can keep a 35.5 for your info. Let me know if you stop or not.
35.5. Let's see, that's his lap time. Bottas is doing a 1:35.2, and he might have him at the last corner. Leclerc's too slow. Here comes Valtteri Bottas then to the inside line. Leclerc's going to go defensive. He squeezes him towards the pit wall, down towards turn 1. Bottas dives on the inside, and Valtteri Bottas takes the lead of the Turkish Grand Prix away from Charles Leclerc. It's Bottas on top here in Istanbul so far. Can he now close it in the last 12 laps and take the lead?
We should stop
Either way,
and
I'm
push
gonna
for
be
the last
happy.
12 laps.
Copy. If I can keep a 35.5 for your info. Let me know if you stop or not.
I love that. Did you hear it as well? Valtteri's already got past him, but he's still saying now, let's pit. Hamilton.
Passed into the dry.
Hamilton's lost a bit of time on Verstappen.
Hamilton's lost time, as you can see. Look, 4.5 seconds now separating the two of them. So it's closing down even more. Talk us through it, Megs.
Right, so, Leclerc just made a little bit of a lock-up at the back and he hit a damp patch. And then Bottas found an opening and rocketed up.
Let's hear from Bottas.
Like Ricciardo did to Latifi.
Yeah, come on, Valtteri. You heard over the radio there as well. You're right, it really has been quiet on the team side, but loud on the driver's side this weekend. It hasn't been similarities between them.
It's like shouting in your ear.
Yeah, this is getting close now, isn't it? What is it? Everyone under Raikkonen has been lapped now as well, so that is P13 down. So Raikkonen, Tsunoda, Russell, Alonso, Latifi.
Come on, Valtteri.
Vettel, Schumacher, Mazepin all lapped. There's the come on Valtteri we just heard as well. And Ferrari getting ready for... Is that dries? No, it's another set of inters. I would have stick on another set of inters if you're inside the top. So Max Verstappen goes to P2. Lewis Hamilton will take third place as it stands in this race. However, you must also remember that the furthest back a driver has taken a podium is 11th place. That was last year with Sebastian Vettel. But Lewis Hamilton is one of the only drivers not to pit alongside Esteban Ocon. So everyone else has pitted at least once. Vettel's pitted twice, but Hamilton and Ocon have not stopped this race. And Hamilton is risking a big, big haul in the championship points.
He'll need to pit soon.
Yeah, we are in to championship defining pit stops right now.
I want to see what his tyres are like.
It's even lighter in the pit lane now. How's the conditions on track?
Bit more dry, but still not there.
Hamilton's tyres then at the moment is a 134.651 for Hamilton's last lap time. Verstappen was a 134.251. So he's exactly 0.3 separating them at the moment.
Carlos Sainz sets fastest lap of a 1:32.597. Ferraris are quick today.
Sorry, it's 0.4 exactly between the two at the moment. So Hamilton's only 0.4 a lap slower on these set of tyres. Do you risk it to the end of the race, or do you pit for another set of inters and just call it quits?
Pit.
Yeah, it's closing, isn't it?
Want to... Oh, what's that?
That's the barrier cam.
I was going to say, has it suddenly just gone really dark up there?
I was going to say, it did look a bit dark, didn't it? I was wondering what's going on.
Happened?
10 laps to go then. Here, lap 49 out of 58 of this Grand Prix. Bottas leading the way by 6.9 seconds to Max Verstappen. We're on board, I think, with Sergio Perez. Yes, just looking ahead now to Charles Leclerc. Perez could get a podium here, Megan. If he can get ahead of Charles Leclerc and catch up to Lewis Hamilton, could be a podium.
Is Sainz trying to best his own fastest lap?
1:32.597 for Sainz. So fastest lap of the race again goes to Sainz. It was Leclerc, remember?
Yeah, Ferrari are quick.
Yeah, Ferrari generally have got the pace, but wrong tyre call in this race. What is it with Ferrari's strategy and Mercedes just literally being so bone-dead stupid?
Yeah.
It's just, it takes something out of it completely.
Hasn't he just bested his own fastest lap?
Yeah, 1:32.405 now. Again, another fastest lap for Carlos Sainz. That's 2 fastest laps in a row. And those intermediate tyres are 12 laps old.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, and he's done a fastest first sector as well, a 34.411.
Carlos, I think you're just going a little bit mad.
Sainz is just exploding at the moment, but he needs to get ahead of Lando Norris.
Sainz is happy with the inters. We think you can push until the end with this set.
Well, that's Leclerc's radio saying we think you can push to the end of these sets. Sainz is happy with the inters, but they also said that Leclerc could make it to the end of the set on those sets of tyres before they had to pit him. So for Ferrari, this is basically how Ferrari do their strategy. They take a dart and throw it at the dartboard and see what he comes up with.
Fastest lap, okay.
Yeah, if it's double top, we pit for slicks. If it's a bullseye, if it's a bullseye, they'll try revolutionary square tyres.
Hamilton radio.
And Lucy can update us on the tyres.
I'm siding around, but it's okay. So far.
It sounds like he's enjoying it.
Are you kidding me?
Sector 2. For Carlos Sainz on 32.114, fastest of all again. So Sainz is about to smash his own lap record in this Grand Prix.
Again?
Here's Lewis Hamilton. Look at the graining, though, Megan, on the front left tyre. Surely this is a pit stop moment. What's his last lap time? Verstappen was
update us on the tyres.
I'm siding around.
Yeah. Verstappen was a 1:34.191. Hamilton was a 1:34.7. So there's 0.6 now between them as well. So at the moment, Megs, I would say it has to change again. And Sainz has done it again.
Yeah, with a 1:31.921. I swear to God, Sainz, if that next sector time you put out there is a purple.
So he set another fast lap from Danny Rick.
Prix is hanging on by a thread.
Copy.
Ricciardo's rear tyres are hanging on as well then, which is great to see. Sainz is flying at the moment as well. Fastest of anybody on the track, a 1:31.921. Track temperature has stayed the same throughout the race as well. That was loud. Yeah, sorry about that. That's Hamilton, who might pit for Inters. Mercedes around with brand new sets of intermediate tyres in the pit lane as well, and Lewis Hamilton pits. So Hamilton comes in then, and this will be a box-box message.
So we think we should box this lap. This will be our last chance before we lose the gap to Gasly.
Sure, okay.
This is the risk they didn't take a year ago by pitting in the closing stages. They decided it now. It's a smooth stop, 2.3. Hamilton has brand new tyres. Let's switch to the driver tracker, because where's Pierre Gasly? Leclerc goes third, Perez goes fourth, so that puts Hamilton now to fifth, but there's Pierre Gasly. Hamilton leaves the pit lane. Does he get out ahead of Pierre Gasly? Yes, he does. So Hamilton now to P5, and he's going to chase down Perez and Leclerc in the remaining 8 laps.
That leaves Esteban Ocon being the only driver who has not pitted today.
And if he gets to the end of the race without stopping and stays in the points, I will personally give a round of applause to Esteban Ocon, and will honestly it'll be a record, an absolute record, if he can do that. So I'm willing now Esteban Ocon to make it to the end of the race on just one set of tyres. That will be absolute history.
We should box this lap.
Yeah, I can't remember any other driver doing it.
No.
Esteban went 56 laps in Portugal after 58 or so. Managed to get that record. Rosberg did 52 laps out of a 53-lap Grand Prix in Russia in 2014. So this could be quite good if the grip conditions are that good that he can make it to the end on one tyre. But for third place now, the battle is on between Sergio Perez and Charles Leclerc up towards turn 12. Perez goes to the outside line as well. Leclerc goes to squeeze him as well into the braking zone. Perez breaks lane, goes around the outside. Leclerc tries to hold the inside line. Now it'll become the outside. Perez in the Hamilton situation. They go wheel to wheel once again. Right now, Perez goes third. Leclerc tries to get the cut back. I don't think he can. It's a Red Bull 2-3. That really helps in the constructors' battle.
Right, so I wonder how Alpine's thinking right now, since they've allowed Ocon to do this.
Gasly at 3 behind. 3 behind.
Man, why'd you give up that space?
It looks like we were going to lose the position anyway.
Hamilton's really angry that he's lost out on points in the championship.
He should have pitted before.
So Max Verstappen is going to take the lead in the Drivers' Championship.
Alpine hasn't even mentioned to Ocon.
No, they haven't. No, they've just left him. They probably forgot he's out there, to be fair.
They're just like, if he needed us, he would call us.
Yeah, I think pretty much they've forgotten that he's there. What's the gap? Well, Stroll's actually on him. According to the driver tracker, Stroll's on him, just 7/10 the gap, 5/10 the gap now as well. Look, there it is, look, coming out of turn 1 and 2 with Ricciardo just behind him. Ocon and versus Stroll. I really, really want Ocon to get a point here today and finish inside top 10.
Ricciardo's 5 seconds behind Stroll, so it looks like he will.
Yeah, there's a chance, never any, but there is a chance he could. Depends how much he loses in the last couple of laps. Here's Lewis Hamilton then, 7/10 behind Charles Leclerc. This is going for 4th place. Can he catch Perez before the end of the race? That is the biggest question of all. Hamilton now on those intermediate tyres. He's accelerating hard. He's trying to push hard and find more time limits. As it stands, let's hear from Leclerc.
And
Leclerc's got no rear grip at all. He's a sitting duck to Lewis Hamilton in towards turn number 1. It's not working out there. Leclerc's tyres, brand new, gone off after 5 laps. Hamilton's at 2 laps. Can he make it to the end with another 6 to go?
Hopefully. I mean, they lasted a long time.
Well, the only reason the others lasted a long time is because they were burned away to slicks. These are in the tricky conditions where it could be dry tyres.
May I just point
They
out
haven't
the
got-
thing that is Sainz setting another sector time?
Yeah, 31.971, sector 2, fastest of all, man.
What did he have for breakfast?
I don't know, but this is a brilliant run from Carlos Sainz at the moment. As it stands, Perez, 4.4 seconds, the gap at the moment, Megan.
Stroll is at 6.
He's passed him.
Yeah.
Stroll is up into P9. He's passed Esteban Ocon for that slot now on the track, and he did it.
He's made up nearly a second as well.
Yeah, he did it down towards turn 1. Look, Ricciardo's closing in on him as well, so he did that move into turn 1, and Ricciardo's closing.
He's made up a second in 10 seconds.
Bottas is 7 seconds back from, Verstappen 7 seconds away from Bottas here at the moment. But Hamilton and Leclerc, the battle we're all watching at the moment, which is 1.2 between them, with 5 laps to go of this Turkish Grand Prix. Leclerc's already looking for the damp part of the track. Hamilton's happy where it stays.
What position am I in, man?
5.
Currently P5.
You should have come in, man. Got massive graining, man. I told you.
No, you didn't.
He did. Remember, Hamilton said, don't pit me. I'm fine. We can make it to the end of the race.
You should have pitted before.
As I said, the new Inters aren't working. So look, now Verstappen 262.5, Hamilton 256.5.
He should have pitted with Valtteri.
Yeah, he should have pitted earlier on in the race. I admit that. He shouldn't have gone too long. But if the tyres were okay to the end, they should have just left him out there. That would have been a third place. They've risked it. And that could be a championship-defining moment.
They're not really that okay to the end. I mean, look at how Ocon's going. He's just lost 2 seconds.
Yeah, he lost out to Stroll, and Stroll got through. That decision right there could be a championship-defining moment in this 2021 season.
It could be. And Sainz really is, aggressive today. I mean, he's made up 11 places and keeps setting fastest laps. I'm seriously wondering what he had for breakfast.
I think he's had some fuel.
So that's where all UK's fuel's gone.
Yeah, Gasly's drank it all, and now he's just expressing it out the back there. Hamilton could fall into Gasly. Yeah, what's the gap? 1.3 seconds as well. 1.2. If Gasly passes Hamilton, this is definitely a championship-defining day.
That makes up a lot. Sainz first in vote driver of the day.
And with Leclerc second on 14%, Hamilton's third on 12%. You can vote for the driver of the day. Josh Plays has put the link in the chat for you.
By the way.
What, sorry?
I said Sainz said 21.
Gasly is in a second of Hamilton. This is going to happen. Hamilton shouldn't have pitted.
Stand up.
Gasly's going to get past here, and this is going to be another championship blow.
Hamilton radio.
Gasly at 1 second.
Leave it alone, man.
Hamilton has to go defensive. Gasly's on him down the start-finish straight. Hamilton's angry at Bono for the first time. Just leave me alone. That was all he said over the radio. This is such a dramatic moment in the World Championship. Hamilton took an engine penalty he didn't need. He's been messed around by Mercedes this weekend. Is this the start of the breakdown of their relationship? Because Verstappen is going to take the lead in the title with 6 races to go, and it will be a major points advantage going into Austin, Texas in 2 weeks' time. The fight is on, and right now it swings the way of Max Verstappen.
This is very exciting. And Norris is 1 second point 2 away from passing Gasly, which means he's 2.2 seconds away from Hamilton.
Yeah. They're all within a second of each other. They are all within a second.
It's less than that now for both.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. The fight is on again. Hamilton's going to have to hold on. And Lando Norris might have a smile on his face if he can nick a position ahead of Hamilton as sort of retribution for what happened in Russia.
I really kind of hope that happens.
Yeah. This is the battle now as they come back through down into turn 12. Really is holding him.
Right, so Bottas has the fastest first sector time with a 33.969. Though,
looking at this, Hamilton's going to go against the pit wall again. Look, here he goes. Gasly's just behind him. He's following him. Lando's doing his own little thing in the background to maintain the racing line. But this is so tense now. Absolutely tense. 5 minutes to go until the start of that.
Norris is just observing. He's just looking, just like, so, that's your mistakes, that's your weaknesses.
Yeah, which way am I going to go here today?
Which way is he really dumb at?
Yes, basically, yeah. Which way can I fight for going forward? Oh, this race, another classic in 2021. Bottas is going for the fastest lap. 33.969, Sector 1. Sector 2, 31.888. 889, sorry, it's corrected. So Bottas going for fastest lap. He's coming out the last corner now.
It's already faster than
and it's fastest lap, 1:31.023. So Bottas is going to get 26 points to his name at the end of this race as well. He's also be his first win since Russia 2020, over a year ago.
Come on, Alonso, pass one more person, because then you get first most overtakes.
Fastest lap goes to Bottas, as I said. Most season overtakes. Vettel's at 96, Alonso 95, Sainz is at 90.
Come on. Alonso pass one more person.
He's 1.1 seconds behind Russell.
Come on, Fernando.
It's close. Who's going to have it, though? The battle for 5th, the one we're watching at the moment.
You know you want to pass it.
Yeah, this is getting incredibly tight now as well. Bottas is going to come around the last couple of corners to start the last lap in around about a minute's time. He's just exiting through turn 8, the long sweeper.
There's a 10-second gap between Bottas and Verstappen.
Grid starting to clear, according to Josh, on the British Touring Cars. We'll be showing that race in an hour's time, the British Touring Car Championship, as we'll record the live timings for you up here in the comms box. As well. Megan's going to stand by to get ready for that. If you tell us when they're on the formation lap, Josh, as well, please. Megan can keep an eye on it for us.
Oh, and by the way, do you know when you shut down everything?
You do it today. I'll call you back.
Because he keeps turning everything off on my Chrome, and for some reason I have to log in again every single time I go on Chrome, and it really annoys me. Let's try and keep Chrome on all the time.
I like to say it, but it already says it's paused or update alongside.
It says update.
Okay,
that's fine. I don't care about that.
Alarm telling you that it's time ready for the race.
Yeah, 2 minutes, which is just
Final lap then, and Ricciardo has dropped behind Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi has gone up into P11. He's a point behind. He's 5 seconds back from Ocon as it stands. So maybe not points at the moment. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. But the last lap of the race then, and it could go the way of Valtteri Bottas taking a race win for the first time since 2020 in Russia.
He's doing it again.
Fastest first sector, 33.728. Yeah, there you go, look.
I feel like he wants to get fastest lap on his last lap as well.
Valtteri Bottas had pole position for the F1 sprint race. He took victory in the F1 sprint race, but didn't start on pole position. He has not stepped on the top of the podium since Russia in 2020. He has raced 173 starts. He's had 18 poles. He's had 16 fastest laps, make that 17 fastest laps. He'll have 64 podiums, make that 65 podiums as well. He'll sweep the deck with poles, fastest laps and pole positions as well. In terms of podium, he'll take his 10th career win. It is what they call a grand slam. He has led every single lap. He has led from start to finish. He took pole position. He took the fastest lap for the first time this season, for the first time in over a year. Valtteri Bottas back as the Flying Finn and wins the Turkish Grand Prix. A fantastic result with a 1:30.432, the fastest lap of the race. Max Verstappen for Red Bull on their special livery takes second place. Sergio Perez will come home in third for a Red Bull 2-3 that dramatically helps them in the Constructors' title as well. Charles Leclerc will come home in P4, a valiant effort as well. Esteban Ocon has crossed the line in 10th place. He's taken the checkered flag and he has done every single lap on one set of tyres. History made there.
Performance, great stuff.
Yes! Whew. Thank you. That's fun.
Hi, Valtteri, James. Great drive. Really, really well done.
Thank you. Cheers. Good job.
Yeah, great job, Valtteri. Brilliant, brilliant effort.
It is now Lewis Hamilton in 5th, Gasly 6th, Norris 7th, Sainz 8th as well. Megan, 1 hour 31.4 seconds, exactly what you said. Exactly what you said, Megan, was the average race time, so very well done there. Yes. Fastest lap for the DHL goes to Bottas as well, a 1:34.32. But Esteban Ocon gets a World Championship point and has not stopped this entire race. He started 12th, he finishes 10th, and becomes the first driver in Formula 1 history to take a point without stopping.
Me too, mate. Yeah, we can be happy with that.
Yeah, I think we maximize that. It was not that easy with the tires he's managing, but good job.
Red Bull are happy with that. A 2-3 with a special livery. It should have been a victory, but nobody could stop Valtteri Bottas today. A Grand Slam, which is pole position, fastest lap, and the race win. Well done to Valtteri Bottas in what could be his last ever race victory as well. The perfect 10 for Valtteri Bottas. The flying Finn is back. Those ice skating... those taking karts out on a slushy go-kart track when he was younger really helped. Let's hear from Perez.
Finally, man.
Yeah, well done, Checo. I told you to be on the podium. Well done, mate. Good job.
It's the
First podium for...
Formation lap just started for British Touring Cars. Have you started it?
No.
Good. Just be on ready then. You can sit down and just be focused on that. I'll be focused on the wrap-up shows as well as they get ready. Well, don't forget, we'll be bringing you the British Touring Car race in an hour's time. At 6:30, we'll be on for the Grand Prix review. Me and Megan just wrapping up the day.
Bottas does that drops.
Yeah, not great there, is it? Me and Megs will wrap up the session later on, and it won't take that long at all, just after dinner.
Good, because I need to wash my hair.
Yeah, this will be after dinner, and then we'll be done for the day, and I can relax
And
for
I
the
have
first
a lot of
time.
work to do.
I'll tell you what, with nothing on tonight as well, for the first time in a long, long time, I'm very much looking forward to relaxing. Before, we've got the Grid Network show, I think, at 1 o'clock today. And my screen is frozen for my phone to show me the British Touring Car lap, so you'll have to be bang on there, Megs.
Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do. I've got some psychology to do. I've got some criminology to do.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have anything law to do.
Just get bang on there, ready for it as well.
I really hope I don't have anything law to do.
You should be fine. We'll hear from the leaders as well in a few moments' time. So get ready on this because I think they're about to come to the line. Josh Plays, you can tell us when they're forming up on the grid, please, there, mate. So that Megan and me can just keep a closer eye out because, as you know, as things stand, we are still finishing this race, so race 2 is delayed. Grid forming up, thank you. So, yeah, get ready there, Megs, for the start. I know, if we went off air right now, we could do the British Touring Car Race 2 live. However, we have to finish the Formula 1. It is part of protocol. And the only reason we can do these as well is if we show the whole thing. So, unfortunately, we can't go off air. We got in trouble with that in Bahrain with the MotoGP that was starting straight after. So, we'll have to wait on and do the whole thing and fill our time slot as it is. Hamilton, though, Megan, very, very angry in P5. And he's going to have arguments with Bono later on. That is for sure. The Turkish fans have seen an absolute cracker here today. And let's hear from David Coulthard talking with the top 3 as well. The big DC with the big jaw coming up now as well. Let's hear from David Coulthard. It's taking a while. Where's DC? Well, he's supposed to be there. Let's hear, first of all, from Valtteri Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas, our race winner. Welcome back. We've been expecting you.
Thank you. It's been a while, but feels good. It's nice.
Over a year since your last win. Now, it wasn't dominant in terms of the distance to your competitors, but it was dominant in the way you appeared to run that race. I saw one little moment on the exit of turn 1 where you got sideways, and we know that can be a difficult corner, but otherwise it was textbook.
Yeah, I think from my side, I have to say probably one of the best races I've had ever.
We got it, Josh, don't worry.
Slide, everything was under control. But like I said before the race, the car's been really good in every condition, and I had really good confidence
like
with
that
it.
Flag game, which we used
could
to
really
play.
control it, and it's not easy to choose, the strategy here with these conditions, when to stop and to which tire and everything. But I'm glad everything went smooth for once for me, and that's nice.
Yeah, it seemed very much under control, but put us in the cockpit. How difficult are those sorts of conditions for a race driver?
Yeah, when there's only one drying line, it doesn't need much that you go off. So
Valtteri's a bit shocked here, I reckon.
So yeah, difficult one, and feels like well-earned victory.
Yeah, it was indeed, Valtteri. Go and enjoy the moment, and congratulations.
Valtteri seemed a bit shocked there, actually, as well as Valtteri's Turkish fans as well. Oh, that is fantastic to see there. A lot of support for Valtteri. What about support for Max, the championship leader?
Leader once again, Max Verstappen.
Yeah, there you go.
The crowd appreciate you even in second place. I know you want to win every race like all the drivers, but a good damage limitation Grand Prix for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was not easy today. I mean, the track was very greasy. We just had to manage the tires the whole race, so we couldn't really push. And yeah, it just seemed like Valtteri had a bit more pace, could look after the tires maybe a bit better as well. But I'm of course still happy to finish second, because in these conditions it's also easy to get it wrong and you drop back. So overall, yeah, very, very pleased.
We didn't see any big moments during the race, but of course the cameras aren't on you at all times. What was the most difficult phase of the Grand Prix for you?
Stay awake. It was just all about just managing the tires, so you were never pushing to make it to a certain amount of laps, you know, and then you box for another set. But yeah, happy to be on the podium.
Well, look, it may have been, let's say, a procedural race for you, but from my point of view in the Combox, it was a really exciting Grand Prix, watching the different strategies play out. That 6-point swing, you leading the championship, are you looking at that race by race, or you just now focus on Austin, Texas?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been close the whole year, and I'm pretty sure again in Austin it will be a good battle with Mercedes. So we just have to keep on pushing, keep on trying to improve, and then we'll see where we end up at the end. But of course, I think so far this season has been really good.
Excellent, Max. Enjoy that. And then finally, a driver. This track has been very good to him. He had a podium here last year. Checo, great race. Congratulations. One of your controlled races again at the beginning, looking like you were dropping back, but when it really counted, you had the tires and you had the car to pull off some big passes.
Yeah, it was quite an intense race there in the first stint with Lewis and fighting with Charles. Their start was pretty good. It was just one of those races of having to be patient, push at the right times, you know, manage that tires well, because we didn't really know what was going on with the tires. They were coming back, they were going off. It was pretty hard to manage the tires out there today.
So look, just behind us on the screen, once again, another great pass. You positioned the car on the dry line. That feels good for a race driver, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always nice to get a good move. Obviously, Charles is a very good driver, so it's nice to fight with him.
Well, go and enjoy your podium. Thank you.
Yeah, just confirming what we've already said. 0 pit stops on the board for Esteban Ocon. 58 laps, the whole race distance, the first driver in F1 history since the pit stop era began with changing tyres. Even in the 50s they changed tyres. Never changed a set. He was on those inters for the whole race. So, in future, when we see drivers saying, the inters are gone, the inters are gone, I'm not going to believe them. 58 laps, whole 306 kilometres.
Just like, the inters are gone, just like, I don't believe you. Wait until they turn to slicks.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Let's hear the driver of the day is Carlos Sainz, and he's been having words with us on attendance.
Carlos Sainz, congratulations. You are driver of the day, starting from the back row of the grid, finishing P8. Tell me how difficult it was out there on track today.
Oh, really? Okay, cheers. First driver of the day of my life. It took me a few years to get driver of the day. But yeah, thank you. It was quite tricky. At the beginning I could do a lot of moves when it was full wet. Then when it dried out, there was only one racing line and I couldn't overtake that easy and we got a bit stuck. But apart from that, good recovery, very strong pace, so happy.
Fantastic to talk to you and enjoy your first moment as driver of the day.
It's been a long time.
It's been a fantastic long time coming, as Crofty just said as well. The fact that Carlos Sainz is now driver of the day for the first time, 25% of the votes. As we wait for the podium, let's just confirm the results to you so we can go off here quite quicker. Bottas wins, Verstappen is second, Perez third, fourth is Leclerc, fifth Hamilton as well, and that's all we get before the podium ceremony begins. Trust me to say that. Go on.
Why is Stroll's car being wheeled up to there?
It'd just be the Park Ferme checks, wouldn't it? Just to make sure they're okay. Sergio Perez, his 13th podium in Formula One. And another one in 2021 with Red Bull as well. Definitely a driver that can match the second place man, Max Verstappen, whose 54th career podium. He now takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship. But for Valtteri Bottas, a 65th podium, a 17th fastest lap, an 18th pole, and the perfect 10. It's victory number 10. He's first in over a year, and we will hear the Finnish national anthem for Valtteri Bottas. But
it's a recording, so we can't. We have to talk over it.
yeah, which is really, really annoying, but you can hear it in the background as well.
Yeah.
Valtteri Bottas, how much is this going to be a boost to him as well? A victory for possibly his last ever victory in Formula 1, but rounds out with a perfect 10. Unlikely he's going to get a victory in Alfa Romeo, but if they become Andretti Autosport, which has been rumoured this weekend...
Then he might.
He might, with Colton Herta alongside him as teammates. His girlfriend, Tiffany, as I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the third race victory he's seen him win now? Maybe fourth?
I think, yeah.
2020
maybe.
in Austria, 2021 Russia, third, yeah. 2021 here.
2020 Russia.
2020 Russia, yeah. 2021 now here with taking victory in the Turkish Grand Prix. And now the German national anthem for Mercedes that we really have to talk over because every single time it's not there, or it's there, it gets muted later on.
Yeah,
and I have to go back and do it. So let's just talk about nonsense in this part, and we'll tell you about things coming up tonight because we can mute it then.
Oh, I can talk about nonsense.
What?
What I'm doing today, I've got to watch an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's good. But whenever you talk, it's too quiet that we get heard, so let me do it.
Oh, great.
Race 2 for the British Touring Cars coming up at 3:30 British Summer Time as well. But the race is live right now on ITV4. But join us on ITV4 plus 1 hour in order to have the race again to be watched along with us as well. In terms of everything else, race 3 for the British Touring Cars is live at 5:25 as well for all of the action. And then the Grid Network tonight is 90 minutes after the conclusion of the NASCAR race. Celebrations all the way around as well, as I remember what I next have to do as the podium trophies get brought out as well. It's been a funny old race, Megan. Who's your personal driver of the day?
Ocon, because he managed to go so long.
Ocon, yeah.
So Max was just staring at the camera people, or the press. He was literally just staring at them.
Valtteri Bottas gets his trophy and throws it up as well. A lovely figure of 8 trophy as well. I wonder if this was supposed to be the Japanese trophy because it's the figure of 8 circuit. And they've just trucked them over here as well. But no, it's got the Turkish star. So yeah, this is the correct trophy. Thank God for that. Constructors for Mercedes again. Mercedes to a 121st victory and their 256th podium in their career. Podiums 197 and 198 now for Red Bull. Max Verstappen takes second and crucially the lead of the championship as well. That is an incredibly good situation going into the last few races. Is Verstappen the champion for this year as Perez takes third place now?
I think maybe, yeah.
It's entirely possible, isn't it? But now, as ever, in a wet, damp turkey that never dried out, it's champagne time! Carmen rings out. Valtteri, being Finnish, hasn't had a drink for the last 2 hours, takes a big gulp of the champagne before spraying it over his team and the Red Bull drivers as well, celebrating.
He sprays it in his mouth as well.
Big drink there.
I think he's the only driver I've ever seen to actually spray himself.
I'll tell you what, it's a fantastic drink as well. The celebration's happy. In fact, the driver's already wet, so a bit of champagne. A bit of an advantage there.
One of the rare times where every single person on that podium is happy.
Yes. Josh Play says Verstappen could clinch the title. It's entirely possible. Megan, 6 races left. America, Mexico, Brazil, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi. How long do you reckon until we get a world champion? Is this now definitely going down to the end of the season in Abu Dhabi?
I hope.
It's got to. It's got to. Big point advantage, though, for Max Verstappen here today. He's capitalised on Lewis Hamilton having the failure of not scoring any points as well. The America United States Grand Prix, October 22nd to the 24th as well. We now go on a 2-week break. Reminder, there'll be no action at all on the YouTube channel next weekend. We take a very well-deserved break after doing 36 weekends in a row nearly of coverage for you. So we're going to take a very well-earned break as we wind out to the end of the season. My thanks to Megan Birch for being with me all weekend in the commentary box as well. She will be back at the American Grand Prix as we continue down. It's going to be a close one as well. Megan, give me a name. Verstappen or Hamilton for the title?
Honestly, I think Verstappen.
Yeah. Seems to go his way. So, To conclude the action here today, it's Lewis Hamilton who started 11th, finished 5th. It could have been 3rd, but they brought him in for a pit stop. Max Verstappen finishing in P2 with Sergio Perez 3rd, but the big honours of the day of a Grand Slam for Valtteri Bottas. He's the winner of the Russian Grand Prix. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. It's goodbye from Russia in Turkey. We'll see you in the United States Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye from Istanbul.